stream for posterity.
Wait, what?
Okay, so when last we were together, then you had finished dealing with the entire dungeon pretty much. You had found the treasure and defeated the iron bots down below through humor and the weaponry, and then moved your way back here, and you started playing with the pool, trying to find out a way of draining it. There is one problem that experiment came about between, we'll say, where you found that anything you took out of it sort of comes back. It's not a natural well source of water, so it doesn't seem to be
All right, so our
going
big
anywhere.
our ice disc didn't work.
It turns into water once you pull it out, but it also refills itself from somewhere, some other ethereal plane or something.
And is the liquid it's refilling itself with, does that become magical as well?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So you could try to destroy the holder. You could crash the room down if you wanted to. You could try.
We still haven't tried using using shatter to try and basically crack the stone.
Yeah, we could have just let Orden's buddies come and have it.
We were talking about how we didn't just want to leave a pool of magical energy lying around.
And even if we told the university, they're not going to send anyone here. That's why they send us out to get stuff. Or at least that's what I remember James saying, or us talking about last time.
So what would you like to try? Do you want to try to shatter?
I'm going to look over at Orden to see if he's got any other ideas first.
I'm at a loss, but I agree that we shouldn't leave it here if it can't be used for us. We should kill it.
Yeah, we were gonna try to drain the pool somehow.
Yeah, and that didn't work out.
Well,
unless you tried draining out the bottom, so getting rid of the container, which is, I guess, what the shatter's about.
Yes.
What if we just pounded some nails to that table in the first room and put it over top of it?
Then they just lift the table off if they wanted to get at it, right?
That's what I would do, yeah. But that water doesn't seem to be going anywhere.
All right.
We can just try filling the pool with all the rubble that's around.
All right.
You know what? That actually doesn't sound like a bad idea.
All right.
It doesn't really do much, but at least we can kind of cover it and hide it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Nasir goes over to Orden and says, "If this pool will magic do anything odd with it?"
In what sense? Sorry, that tokens should be gone somewhere.
As if I cast a spell upon it, will anything strange happen?
I honestly can't tell you. It shouldn't. That doesn't mean that it won't. If you were in contact with the pool, I mean, I think it would. If you're casting something at it, I think that should be fine.
I see. Well, I can try it once, and we shall see. Although I believe everyone should back up.
Oh, I'll be way down this hall. I suggest everybody else come with.
That
look,
would be
an
the
Orden.
wisest.
Watch out for the trap, guys. He'll hang out over top of it, point down at it.
Okay, don't go here.
Jump over or go around.
I might as well put that one on the board then. You all know it's
He'll-
there.
I assume Thorn
He'll
would
ask-
be doing the same. Yeah.
Are you planning to shatter to bring everything down around it? And
No.
potentially crack the pool?
Well, maybe no, but maybe yes. The intent would be to crack the bowl and drain the water out. But if the ceiling falls down, maybe it's good.
Just make sure you're out of there.
Well, yes. All right. So once everyone is out and away, Nasir will basically cast a shatter and target it just above the surface of the water.
Okay, can you toss that spell up again so I can... see the exact effects.
No problem.
Okay. Since
Yeah,
you
so-
have this with a necrotic angled, I'm not going to have it go splashing out everywhere. It seems to be more of a. If it was force, then you were going to have a good fountain of magical water going everywhere. But
might be
it's just
fun.
going to crumble. So yes, it shatters the edges of the bowl. There's a huge impact from this. It does a lot more than you normally would have thought. It
Oh.
actually enlarges the area of the bowl as well, and it starts crumbling in, creating a sort of crumbling deeper and deeper, and the water sort of disappears from sight
Oh,
as the hole
Actually-
grows.
actually, the way you're describing it, so this isn't inlaid into the ground. This is actually like a standing bowl.
No, it's up there. It is. There's the pool. So I'm just
Oh,
gonna
okay.
make the pool. The hole just got a whole lot bigger. The pool didn't though.
Because it cracked open and the pool started draining.
And yes, the pool starts draining into this thing.
This year we'll just kind of observe it and see if it's going to entirely drain or if it's only going to partially drain.
Throw a seed in there. We'll come back in a few years and there'll be a giant magic tree.
But that
I
sounds
heard about a beanstalk once.
that sounds very responsible.
Is the 11 damage if it was already wounded, or is that's the other spell? That's the toll one. So it did
Oh.
14,
14. Yeah, the 3 is the because it
That's
was
right.
upcast.
and it makes it makes a save on disadvantage. It's not gonna make a save though.
Yeah, because it's an item. So
All right,
if
so
you need me to cast it again to do more damage to do it, then I can do that.
no, that's fine. You create some fissures and stuff in it, and it eventually drains away into the cracks and area.
Excellent. So we shall come back and find some magically powered bowls later. I'm sure nothing can absolutely go wrong with what we just did.
Yeah, what's the worst that could happen?
Fast forward 2 years later, we're in a dire battle with an army of mole people.
All magically
Super
enhanced.
powered. Yeah.
Blind sight out to 60 feet.
It's a brilliant idea. Let me write that down. Hold on. It looks like a giant eye now. That's nice.
All right.
So now what
There-
would you like to try to do?
We have nothing else to do here, correct? It's time to leave.
Could we please leave now? Yes.
Sounds
Gently
good to me.
make our way past the traps and back to the front.
Do a long jump over the trap.
Point at the traps.
Jump
They're
over
down
the-
there.
Oh, you don't have to move everybody out. I'm just gonna copy you all out. That's a long hike for no point.
Perfect.
Here, let me bring Flappy back. Or
Flappy.
oil can.
Group teleport.
Zoom. He'll be talking to Rapscallion along the way. We're getting you out of here, man.
Guys, it's been a minute since we've divvied up any gold, and I'm thinking if I can afford it, I'd like to pick up a suit of half plate for that bump in AC or full plate. I mean,
Oh, when you get back to town.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, I believe this takes care of both the Winding Way, the artifacts, and the Necromancer. However, we have not found the Druid. Do we want to look for them before we leave, or no?
Sorry, the Druid.
Yes, there is a mad Druid here, so they're potentially one of our targets.
I wonder if that was
Are we-
Paul.
Are we sure that whoever that was didn't go down in the fireball fiasco of 2 hours ago?
It is uncertain. The important thing was that we do not know what brought the manticores. but they could have been summoned.
Well, do you have any idea where the druid might be?
On this island.
That's
Yes.
how large?
Narrows it down.
Approximately how large is the island we're on, by the way?
Not big. It's a mile by 2 miles.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not huge, but it's also it's not helpful. Essentially, the backstory was that this island was avoided because the ships were being sunk and undead were raised from the sailors, and we're pretty sure we also have basically we met an NPC who actually escaped from this island, who basically learned druid craft from a druid who was on here, who I think was in cahoots with them. So
Though
this
it's
guy's
only an assumption it was this island.
oh, that was not confirmed.
No.
Ah, okay, my mistake.
Well, it wouldn't take that long if we search the island. It's not that big.
Do we ever get a satisfactory answer as to like where the manticores came from?
The sky. That's it.
Yeah, but like, all right, just trying to logic it out. Basically, there's absolutely
Sure.
nothing on this island for them to eat. So, and there's no way for them to fly to any other island to get something to eat. So, the only reason they should be here, if they unless they were basically summoned or pets, would be if they were summoned or pets. So that's the process of logic. Unless you're going to tell me that they were just a random encounter and we can just move on without wasting time.
They're a random encounter and you can move on without wasting time.
Okay, cool beans. All right then. I think we're done here. Let us go home.
Right.
Sorry, I was looking for patterns where there weren't any. My
Yeah,
apologies.
no, it was on a table of D12.
Good thought though.
Yeah. Their thinking behind it was they were drawn to all the death here. That was what the module said.
I mean, I guess that's fair, but
Yeah, it's an old module.
yeah, fair enough. All right. Yeah, and I'm going to the assumption that basically that this abbey was pretty much the only place of importance on here. Is where the cultists would have been stationed, and probably there's nothing else nearby.
Not even food supplies. I mean, they had a little garden nearby, and not even a water supply. They actually had to purify salt water to get by.
Ugh. Wow. All right. So unless we wish to actually look for any cultists who have been in hiding, which I doubt, I assume once the pilots left, they all converged back onto the abbey. I'd say it is probably good to leave.
What happened to Paul and Fancy Fingers? What's his face? That guy we left up here.
They took off for the shore.
Yes, I believe Marek took care of them. Oh wait, I turned to the new people. Wait, didn't you encounter them?
Yep, I was just gonna say that.
They may not know
Yeah.
who you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't.
This blonde half elf, Fancy Fingers or something, and Paul the gardener, and the other guy, the old guy who gave up. Old
Upon
gray head.
arrival to this island, we did not encounter anybody of that description. No.
It was a straight shot with the.
Upon the time of our arrival, we merely found the ashes left behind.
Ah, yes. No, my memory had failed me. I do recall they actually did attempt to get past the undead on the beach, and they failed. So we'll probably be passing their bodies on the way back.
Oh,
Wow.
well, that's unfortunate.
Well, for them.
Now,
I
Adam,
told him to wait.
if Nasir, if you'd end up using illusion or something to show them what these people look like, they would recognize them.
Ah, okay.
We faced him in the one shot, the prequel, so to speak.
Because Mel
okay.
such a good description. Gave such a good description.
Yeah, exactly. That was
I mean,
like,
you
that
know.
was
Okay.
useless.
Okay, so all right, so so reversing a little bit. Like the last thing you said before the one shot happened was that they died trying to get through the skeletons, but that's been retconned to say that they actually were defeated.
They barely made it off the island. They were in a weakened state, and they made it off the island.
Ah, okay. So in that case, then I wouldn't have. Then my statement would not have been true, and I would have actually shown them like full body images of all three of them.
Yeah, the one guy did make it. The Alkalite, the gardener. The two bigger guys actually made it off barely, and they had some powers. And then there was a little adventure where they tried to take the lighthouse island because they went after your ship, and things did not go well for them.
Ah, so they were all dead.
They're all dead now. I believe so.
Okay.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Orden.
Yeah, they're well, Orden wasn't
Yeah, but
wouldn't have been there, but yes, they're all dead.
I see.
Me as a player remembers anyway.
yeah.
And their bodies?
Hacked up on the island, I believe.
None of us would. Well, I mean, Rakir and Odo would be the only ones that know that, though, and because of the current party, those were the only two that were part of the party that fought them.
Yeah, I'm just trying to remember if either of them got taken prisoner or anything at the end there.
I don't think so.
We're talking about the who exactly?
The
There
little
was
one shot, the
the guy who was invisible. Those people, the bard.
The two spellcasters.
Yeah, the two spellcasters.
One of them was taken prisoner. We left
Was it Old Man McGillicuddy?
Yeah, the guy who did
Son-
not
was it
cast Hold
Bard?
Person on me was the one who was taken prisoner. That was the one.
So one was taken prisoner.
Yes, one of them was taken prisoner, and we broke his hands.
Okay, so he'll be on the ship then. So that's the cleric.
Well, isn't the cleric the one that cast Hold Person? So I think the bard. Is the
I
one
believe
that
it was
survived
the bard
Okay.
or whoever.
So he's the
elf
least
was.
useful of information. Okay. Because he was just a merc. So, we will move you along. If anybody has any questions for the bard, I will answer those questions out of character. But otherwise, we can roll us along.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, the bard. I guess we just do. I assume that he's already been questioned, and you've gotten all the general information you needed out of him.
Nope.
Oh.
Nobody questioned him. They beat him up and then took off with your wisp heading back to shore. And they all followed the will-o-wisp through the sands back to where you guys were, because they were sort of in a rush to meet up with you all.
Merrick
Okay.
may have pressed
Gotcha.
him a little bit, but it's
Yeah.
hard to say.
Merrick's but they never know about Merrick, because sometimes he was being knightly and sometimes he was being vengeful, so I don't know what he was going to do. Depends what side of his orc nature took over.
And I guess I'd like to at least give him some general questioning, as in basically more important. He obviously doesn't really know too much of what was going on, but I'd like just to get a general summary, just to cross check what he's told us already. More importantly, I'd like to understand how he was hired, so we know that how the cultists were actually making contacts with these mercenaries. See if that's useful in the future.
He was hired, so he worked for a person that was what was the guy's name? I will look up his name while we're playing, but he was hired by he worked for a boss guy who up in the Green Forest up by Neverwinter, and there's a base up there of mercenaries and so forth. He also mentions that he had been hired on to other crime lords and so forth around Saltmarsh. When pressed for whom, he mentions that he worked for Sambalay briefly and knew her, and was part of the crew of guys who occasionally were hired on. She went to the same person to get her men. There's quite a crime network that work out of this place up in those woods. Let me get the map.
The woods north of the town?
It's north of, just south of, outside of Neverwinter. So we're talking a week and a half away from here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so.
They're probably called Neverwinter Woods or something by the time I get there.
So what he was just one of those basically just generally like bad actors who kind of basically goes around and working for whoever wants it, and just kind of someone just made contact with that group saying they want people.
Exactly.
Interesting that the cultists basically wanted mercenaries to come work for them. I guess they didn't feel like they had enough strength of their own.
No, and they basically knew that, is they wanted someone to help train military-wise their staff, and he had been here only a short while before the pirates came back in huge numbers and burned everything down. Here we go. Let's move you to this map so we can all.
That's
Neverwinter Woods. Okay, I could have guessed
No.
that.
Interesting. So I'm gonna ask him basically. So I'm assuming that the people they were going to train were going to be significantly more than just what was in this abbey. Like how many troops are going to be trained and where?
No, he was actually just there to train the folks that were there, the clerics and so forth, just in some sort of self-defense. He didn't understand why, but he had a feeling that they are starting to feel a little nervous about the pirates,
Okay.
and also that they had lost some of their more mercenary members recently in a mission to go collect up something from some halflings.
Grr.
All right then. All right. So, what do we wish to do with this gentleman? Are we going to throw him overboard? Give him to the authorities? What?
I say you could do what you want because I already tried to make a deal with him and he decided to run away. So tough luck, buddy.
Agreed.
Well, I suppose we could ask him. In in between the two options of going to the authorities or being tossed overboard, which one does he prefer?
Well, of course he doesn't want to be tossed overboard. He's scrambling trying to think of information, but you've got everything he owns in the world, including his magic boots, are now on Orden's feet.
Well, I suppose it would be right
he-
to turn him into the authorities.
He's got some information.
Or the halflings.
He'd be fine with. I mean,
Yeah.
of
No,
course he wants to
that'd
be let free, but
best.
yeah.
Give him to the halflings.
I don't
That's
think it
my
would be
vote.
wise to let him free.
If he's
Oh,
merely if he's simply a mercenary, then there are many more like him. Then if we let him go, I do not think he'll run away to basically go work for the rest of the cultists.
well, if we're sure he's given us everything he knows, then
I mean,
actually,
the other way would be I could cut off his head and we could ask it. Would you prefer this?
oh,
Um,
that's
He doesn't
gross.
actually have to answer it though if he's angry dead.
True.
I mean, probably much more amiable to answer questions right now.
Yes, but by saying that in front of him, that kind of basically
Oh, yeah.
encourages him to speak up.
He is. I'm trying to find the guy's name. So he's telling you what he does know, and he has some information about crime organizations and stuff around the area. If I can find the damn name of this person.
Yeah, the stuff that Nasir is interested in would be mainly the activities of the cultists.
He believes that you have pretty much wiped out the cultist. That they had been down in numbers. Their strength had been a while ago, and they lost a bunch on the mission to dealing with the halflings, and then a bunch more got killed off from the pirates, and the remainders of them, the last of them, were here. They were led by the Necromancer. He only saw that guy a couple of times.
All right. Mainly, I'm going to ask him if they ever mentioned anything about the mirror of dead men.
Only that they were looking through it for magic items. That there's somewhere in there is there's some ruins here and there throughout, and supposedly also a black dragon's treasure trove is out there somewhere.
Ah, that was the stuff I was looking for. I'll ask him to be as specific as possible about that, and that's really the last thing I'll worry about.
He gives you what he does know. That he knows the location of where they went and where they've been so far, and he knows that another team of guys who were hired to go from the same people that he worked with were assembled and sent out there. They were hired by somebody, but not the cultist. So there's multiple forces digging around out there.
All right, excellent. That's useful. So we have basically a couple different locations that they're either have already searched or are in the process of searching.
And he gives you a sort of a name of a river and some rough ideas of how to find the river that they all went up. That was their entrance into the swamps.
Okay, so we can basically use that information to at least make an educated guess how to follow their tracks in there.
Exactly.
Okay, good deal. All right, that's all Nasir really wants out of him.
So halflings or Saltmarsh?
What do you think the halflings would do with him? I mean,
Actually, yeah, they'd probably feed him and put him in a nice, comfy cell.
exactly. I think Eleanor would be interested to make his acquaintance.
I think it's not a bad idea. Let's get it to him. Hey, by the way, you know that those giant spiders? Do you think you can put those in my ring?
I mean, I forget. I think maybe I can do that. But keep in mind, basically, that the way the spell works, you actually need to have the spiders. Like you need to have the insects to cast it on.
You mean I can make insects big?
Oh yes, you need to keep them. Every time I use it, I lose the spiders. So every time we go back home, I find some house spiders to keep.
What if I got like centipedes?
I think this spell is very specific. It is only what spiders and wasps and something else.
Oh, I hate
I forgot.
wasps. All right, well, I can get a vial with some spiders.
Just remember, you have to feed them, or else they will die. I figured that out very quick. It is very inconvenient, but they are useful.
That makes sense.
Yes. Okay, you're right. Yeah, it's it's centipedes, spiders, and wasps.
What do centipedes eat?
Are those centipedes flies? I do not know. Spiders eat flies. That is simple.
That's true. All right, well, I'll think about it. But I'm empty. He turns his ring around. So I need to fill it up with something good. If you guys don't mind.
Oh, I finally
Yes.
found the person. Okay, it's some more interesting. I'm glad I went and found it. The person that he worked for out of those woods was actually an ancient hag called Old Gnawbones. And she runs some sort of criminal empire out of the forest there, sending mercenaries on various missions, mostly just sending, mercenaries places. But she has ties to Neverwinter as well as Waterdeep and the surrounding areas.
Okay, cool. Good detail.
So it
she's
seems
the
that
head mercenary.
yeah, if you need well-trained thugs, she's the person to go talk to.
All right. Yeah, I can't give you the insect spell today, but tomorrow I can. My staff is tapped out.
Okay.
And a store in here?
Oh, yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Hey, yeah, you are. Oh,
Oh,
good voice
hey,
too.
man.
Did I give you
Hey.
a new microphone?
Oh, yes, sir. I did. It's my birthday not too long ago, so they got me a new one.
Nice.
Sounds great.
Nice.
Happy birthday.
Hey, thank you. I'm glad it's working. I've been having a lot of issues with my headsets here lately, so it's good.
Sounds
Oh,
great.
sounds
and
great.
Well, then let's finish up our characters here. Go ahead and level your guys' up while we move on. And then I will copy them over to the city and we will pop over there. So let's go ahead and sorry for our two gentlemen who just joined us because they're not quite there, but you're damn near. Everybody else just got over it. It was like 300 experience points into 7th level.
Don't worry, you'll get there soon.
I think the only ones that haven't missed a single game have been Orden and Nasir.
Oh, that's right. I missed the very first one.
Yeah. And so you're just a little bit behind. Same with Brandon. He joined the same as you did.
I'll go with that.
So, Orden's been wearing this cloak of many fashions. He's never been a huge fan of it. Does anyone have any? Because it technically belongs to the party. Anybody have any problem with Orden selling or trading that away?
Now we got to make some loot to get those cannons going,
Indeed.
Well, I'm
and we got to
thinking.
get you some armor for you.
Oh, that's the thing. The cloak of many fashions, I'm sure, would fund a nice suit of plate, so I could essentially swap that out.
What is that worth value? Let's see.
Book of Many Fashions. It's probably what, a common or an uncommon magic
Yeah,
item.
yeah, it's common, so not much, but more than nothing.
Probably.
Like 5,200.
Oh yeah, it's plenty. Way more than needed for plate. Plate's 1,500. And that way we don't have to worry about any sort of dipping into any of the treasure or loot or whatever. We can just keep that going.
Sounds good.
So yeah, let's. If for everyone else, if anybody wants, if they're done already, go ahead and take a few-minute break, and we'll wrap up. Let me know when you're done with your character, and I will
So,
port them over to the other game too.
James, what approximately would Orden be able to get for that Cloak of Many Fashions?
Let's look
Would he
that
give you
up.
a roll or something? Or...
Buying magic items, selling the magic items, and then let me go look up, because you only have one source to sell them really, which is that tiefling in the city.
Oh,
Their little
university.
magic shop. Oh, the university too. Well, the university would probably give you a better price. Roll 2. What does this say here? Okay. Make a charisma persuasion check.
Are you doing the downtime stuff?
Yeah. Selling magic items, Xanathars.
Charisma, persuasion.
Yeah, if we're doing like if we're doing downtime stuff like that, then I would be available to help him if he wanted it.
Oh yeah, good point.
Perfect. I'm gonna cast guidance on myself or Nasir, whoever's rolling the actual roll. Is it
Toss it on
myself?
Nasir. He's probably got horrendous charisma.
Perfect.
Get on the board.
Better
There it
now
is.
done.
So 16 to space. You get full price. So, and did we decide what that was? Uncommon? Or
It's
rare?
common.
Oh,
Yeah.
Xanathar's Guide's a whole lot lower in price for that thing.
Yeah. Well,
What's
common is
that
pretty
got it
common.
as?
But let me bring up. Go ahead and roll again, because you have two places you can sell it, and we'll see what the other source offers. You can pick which one you want to sell it to. Same. Okay. City locations.
$16 is.
Oh, okay. They already give me a price then for her prices. So the library, the academy, then. Well, let's make sure I'm actually saying it's right. Did someone look that up to say it was uncommon?
It.
Okay.
Which one? It's common. Yeah.
Oh, is it? All right. Then it's 100 gold from the library and 75 gold from the quartermaster.
Oh, yikes!
Yeah, it's not good prices. You got to get up to rare to hear thousands.
That's like getting you only be able to get like 10 armor for that, right?
Yeah.
Well, let's settle up with the university over these artifacts and see what that looks like before we. 100 gold isn't gonna be very far.
You could probably sell that to one of the nobles in town for a bit better. But still, it wouldn't be much more. Like maybe 150. I could see
Sure.
Anders wanting that.
Must be the market's flooded right now. That makes sense. Everybody's got one of those damn magic cloaks.
Hey, everybody else done with their leveling?
No, not yet. I just haven't picked spells, and I'm not sure. It doesn't It's weird. It doesn't show that I have any spells, but I have a second level spell slot, I thought.
Multi-class?
No, just Arcane Trickster.
You might, if you on your character sheet, if you go to the cogwheel and then go to the upper left, I think you might need to pick Arcane Rogue, and that'll basically give you those, I believe.
Oh, let me cancel out of this.
I'm assuming. I don't know. I've never tried to basically do one of these in one of these sheets, but I'm assuming it thinks you're a rogue. So just putting your
No,
subclass.
it's giving me the it's just not showing the spells in the list. It shows that I don't have. I'm supposed to have 2 second level and 4 first level available, and this is the first time I'm getting second level, but it's not giving me slots for them.
Oh, I see.
Oh,
The transmogrifier. He's in that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, you can just do it manually afterwards. Just drop him in
Okay.
and change it.
All right, I'll just finish it up and pull them in then. Where is? There he is.
Nasir, you said you were done?
correct.
Okay, then I will move you over to the other game.
Also, could you transfer over my undead guy because his stats went up?
Way too many things in there now. Okay, Nasir is transferred over to city. And what's your undead guy's name?
Oh, that's the one that's in the sidekicks, the undead spirit.
Okay, move Odo over.
Oh, would you mind transferring me over as well?
Absolutely. So Odo is heading over.
What's the average health on a D10 for the leveling up?
6.
6. All right, thank you very much.
With your new mic, I'm sort of excited for your dragon voice.
I've been waiting for all week.
Get your wife in here to.
I have to admit it. I'm on headphones these days. There he is, right here. Okay, Orden, are you all done?
Yeah, I'm good. Other than just the downtime stuff.
Okay, don't change your character in this world then. Okay, going back over. And Mal's still working on his. Thorin sounds like he's working.
I went through it.
And you already dragged your spells over. You're not going to make any more edits here.
Oh no, I haven't changed them over yet.
Okay. Well, you can do it over in the other world if you wanted to switch maps.
Okay.
Right, give me a
Oh,
second.
that's right. That way it'll be in both. Duh.
And then I'm gonna just copy you back because you might pick up stuff in town.
Okay.
Well. It's one of those days where I sort of regret making 2 worlds, but there are a lot of pages in that damn city. There's Mal. And Brandon, you still working on yours?
I'm done.
Okay, let me grab Thorin. I think that's it. Yeah. Okay, I guess we're done with this map. Let's exit this game world and head on over to the cities of Saltmarsh map.
All right.
We'll probably be back.
Loading, loading.
Cool. That's everybody. Okay.
So I forget how long is the trip back? It's a couple days, right?
It was a couple days. So if anything you wanted to take care of in the meantime, besides rest up,
Is there anything we can do besides rest up?
some of the
on
magic
the boat?
users.
This means that like all of our magical items have recovered and all of our hit dice are back to full.
Yes.
Woohoo!
Hey, look at that. I have a 4th level spell slot now. Just realized that.
Wait until next level to get 4th level spells.
Right. I can upcast the shit out of a lot of my stuff, though.
Yeah.
I can't actually select my token.
Try dragging it back out onto the board.
Yeah, just drag another one out, see if it makes a difference for you. Tyler, any luck?
Nope.
Got the wrong person again.
Meta? Someday I'll get your guys'
no.
voices.
Doesn't look like it.
I mean, it was convenient because I don't have control either.
Oh, neither of you do? Oh, Craig. All right, let me look at your character sheets. Maybe that's the problem. Let's see.
And I can't seem to drag it out either.
Because they're definitely assigned to you. Let's see if your character is assigned to you. They're not. That would help. Okay. All right, so here we go.
Wait a second, I can't see my character sheet either.
And it's because it's not assigned to you for some weird reason.
Yeah.
Oh, no, tiny foot. There we go. And I might as well put camera on too. Okay. Oh, what is that? Oh, that was weird. And metas. Where'd it go? Okay, that should do it. And Rakir, can you move around now?
Let me see.
Let me center you all on the map.
Yes, I can.
Sweet. And business.
Oops.
Okay, so pulling into town then, as you docking into this town area, you can see that there is a large group of people rushing around. You can see soldiers forming here and there. There looks to be military preparations going on. At your normal dock, you see Eleander with a couple of guards, and Anders is there as well, and they're just waiting for you to come in. It looks like they must have had word from others that your ship was coming. Anders is waving. It doesn't look hostile or anything. Nobody has like weapons, hands on there or anything.
Mouse smiles and waving at him. Hey guys, what's up? Good to see ya.
This is not good.
What's Nasir? What is the problem?
We're about to find out. They would not meet us here unless they wanted something from us immediately.
All right.
So as you pull in, Doc, and some of the soldiers help tie off the ropes, and so you can help you tie the ship off. The few sailors that you've hired are doing their work about, and Anders looks to be pacing about a little bit impatiently, waiting for everything to settle down. So, how was your guys' journey? That was quite the mission, I heard.
It was great. I got a brand new sword, and it was kind of dusty and dirty, and there were some manticores that flew over top, and they were really annoying. But we met these guys, Odo and Rakir, and took out the Druid. I think we did, at least. We got the main guy, guy with the funny hat, the Necromancer who was trying to kill us in the village. And then there was the what was that thing? It was a giant monster from the depths of heck. Demon came up through a hole, and then we covered the hole with dirt, or actually cracked it open and made all the water fall out. And then oh yeah, I got this sword, and yeah, we had kind of an okay time. How are
So-
you?
Or could Eleander interrupts a bit before Anders mentions he goes, the Necromancer, the same one we fought with the halflings?
I think that was
Yes.
him, right?
Yes, he's dead. Again.
Again. Is this twice or thrice?
Either way, we believe it is of our more permanent type.
Good. I'm glad to hear that you finally dispatched that bastard. I lost a few good men to him, and that was terrible what he did to the town.
So, I do not believe this is a courtesy call, correct?
No, things have been moved into motion soon after you left. There's a council meeting already. Andrew's like, I was going to tell him. There's a council meeting. Everybody's waiting for you. They heard that you were coming, and we decided to hold a meeting this morning as soon as you were going to be in town. They've got another mission for you. Eleander's like, not here. Sanders looks a little sheepish on that one. Oh, yeah. Well, they'll tell you about it inside.
Already?
Things are afoot. Things are moving along. It's the big stuff happening.
All right.
You leave for a few days and the whole world crumbles.
Eleander's like, I hope you got your rest on the ship.
No. Well, I mean, it is comfortable, but I would actually like a nice day and relax, kind of put my feet up, maybe read a book. You know, we were on a desert island for a while.
We have to swing through the university. No questions asked. That's a priority.
It's right next door to where you're going.
Perfect.
So they're meeting now. If they could see you in about 3 bells,
6
that
hours.
would be ideals. Yeah. So you have most of the day if you have some running around to do.
All right.
Perfect.
Then let us get settled and then go.
I'm not taking my stuff off the ship.
Yes. Well, we do not know what the nature of this, so perhaps we'll need the ship, perhaps we'll not.
That's true. All right, well, Mel will hop off.
I'm just going to drop this to the big macro map until we get to somewhere we need to worry about.
He'll talk to Orden on the way to the if they start walking towards the mages about that spell that he cast, that mirror image. And he says, I think I figured it out, but let me know.
Do you need anything in your ring?
Yeah, it's empty. I was telling us here.
Well, I know that you discussed
Yeah.
some bug growy thing.
Yeah.
Gordon narrows his eyes a little bit.
Well,
What can I help?
I mean, I like popping out some, extra friends to help us out, but I don't know if I want to carry a pocket full of bugs yet. Maybe Nasir will let me use his pockets.
Yeah, over the course of the trip back, Nasir would have given you whatever spells you wanted, since we had the
Okay.
time.
All right.
Same with Orden, since we got 2 days.
I think he learned invisibility, so he's just gonna put that in there for sure, and then something else. Actually, if he's learned it, he doesn't need it in there.
Keep in mind the summoning bugs one is 4th level, so
Oh, okay. I don't know. As we're walking, we'll figure it out. What
Bug.
Can you post your spells, Gordon?
So anybody going anywhere different besides the university and the academy?
yes.
I'm gonna look in some armor too. Saucy, I think I sent you a screenshot of him before. I'll do it again.
Oh, I
I'll
can
send
look.
you a DM.
I can go back and.
So Rakir and Odo, this is their first time in this town. It's a medium-sized, we'll call it a small city or a large town. It's between maybe 3,000 to 5,000 people, but that actually includes most of the surroundings. There's probably about 1,000 people that live here in town. The city is a port city. It has a large river that travels into it. Most of the buildings look somewhat new, as in new for D&D world. They're probably less than 100 years old. There's a couple of older structures here and there. The academy they're going to looks to be much older. The town looks like it's on having almost like a gold rush town. It's like things have been changing here. There's a lot of dirt roads in the part of town where you docked at, but as you get moved towards the center area, the area starts getting more and more paved. The buildings are getting nicer as well and less muck in the street. It actually seems to actually have a sewer system of some part and maybe even running water. Other than that, it seems to be doing well. The people that you've joined, the party members you joined, seem to be well known here and well liked. Or those that don't like them, at least avoid them and nobody says anything. A couple people give Odo an odd look, as there's not a lot of orcs walking through town. But you've seen, I think most people seem to be thinking you're a half orc of some part, maybe just 3/4, because you're so well dressed and not looking like the typical orc they're used to seeing coming down from the wilds.
Don't worry, he's okay. He's with us.
Yeah, you're with us. Nobody's gonna say shit to you.
Good
If
to
people
know.
keep staring, Mal will just stare right back.
Stare at their knees. Nasir will actually spend a little bit of time going over to the these Smugglers Tavern.
Okay.
Want to see if Red Brand's there.
And depending on what the payout is from the university, they told us they were going to give us how much a piece? I forget. I thought I'd written it down. But
Hope if you could find it, great. Otherwise, I'll have to go look. I have it somewhere though.
And the only reason it's important is just for that armor. I can always wait until the next downtime to upgrade to.
All right. So is Red Brand in?
Yes, I'm not going to bother loading up the map of the inn.
Yeah, it won't be really necessary.
No.
All right.
So, Red Brand is in because he heard you were coming back into town. So he's actually he catches you before you even get to the bar here. Actually, meets you out front with a couple of bottles of something to drink and a smile. He's like, "Is this stuff we want to talk about out here? Or do you want to go in and step into an office?"
Perhaps the office. It will be quick.
And he'd lead you out inside one of the back rooms of the inn.
All right. Once they're in privacy, I will basically pull out the locket and picture that was given on the island, and sort of just push it across the desk to him, and see how he reacts.
So he starts talking about how things have been going in town, and that there's been more action happening from the Thieves Guild, Merchant Guild. I can't.
Yes, these syndicate, the Zentarum.
Zentarum, thank you. Yes, the Zentarum. And so the Zentarum you mentioned is they've been moving more into town here. There's been a lot more action. I think they have something going on as well with that quartermaster across the street. Then he sees the lockies and that, where in the hell did you get this?
This was from the island we went to, the abbey with the cultists.
He picks it up a little bit, his hand's shaking a little bit, and opens it up. Oh, damn.
What's going on?
He
You aren't
he
there
said
anyways.
Oh,
s-
I'm sorry.
he said he is sorry, and that I should make sure this gets to you. I do not know anything else.
Thank you. It's going to take some time for me to accept that sorry, but thank you.
Nassim shrugs. It is what I can do. I have no more business here and other things to deal with, so I will leave you to yourself.
Thanks. He takes the other drink from you and drinks that one as well.
Yeah. Nasir will get up and head out. Just do the usual round, see what Elman's found out,
Okay.
and basically make sure everything's in order, and then he'll meet up with everyone else at the council chambers.
Okay. Council chambers are building. And I'll just move you, then we'll jump over to the academy for everybody else. Council chambers are in D5. Yeah, I don't know why I thought having 90 pages of maps was a good idea. Alright, for the rest of you guys then, over at the academy. Anybody else have anywhere else they want to go?
No.
Yeah, Mal's pretty good.
So those of you, the academy that you haven't been there before, the two of you, it's a school, and it's basically, it looks to be a school for rich kids and for brainy kids. It teaches the letters and so forth. It has quite a library as they walk you through into it. It looks to be just a university, I guess you would call it in our world. between a high school and a university, but not like public education type. The students living here, learning their words, the languages, and so forth. There's a couple of huge libraries in it, and these guys all lead you to the biggest library and all the way to the back of it to a little room in the back that has. Let's get to the name of this stuff. Master Librarian Genthal, as it says on the door. And there's a few books and stuff piled up against it, like nobody's opened this door in quite a while. Some other items people have moved over, and there's even a desk. It's a little bit in the way.
Ah, you got
Door
a
shut.
lot of books in here, huh?
Well, door's
How-
shut at this point. He's not. You haven't opened it yet. Anybody want to do anything? Like open the door or knock or anything?
Mal will walk up.
Okay.
Hello?
Don't hear any responses on that one. A couple of odd looks from people that look over at you.
He'll just creak the door open.
Orden walks up and gives it a pound. Is this academic theme or the Solomar?
This is Solomar Genthal, the who's now
Master Librarian.
your representative.
Gotcha. This is the old guy in the room with all the books. Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah. If there's more than a couple of us, Orden will say there's no way we're all gonna fit in there.
There's like 5 of you out here in the hallway.
Mal will climb onto the wall.
So a younger guy who's coming over to talk to you sees about to say excuse me, and then sees you jump on the wall, and he turns around on his heel and walks the other direction.
Wise lad.
We're a colorful cast of characters.
Yes.
That thing I posted in game night only, because I'm wearing that thing called the Dread Helm, which makes your eyes red.
Nice. So
Like
yes,
Lord Soft.
a couple of people think that they're going to talk to you all, and then they leave, and then they look like they're looking for someone higher in authority to go deal with the situation and not themselves. Eventually, a little voice comes from behind the door, an old, dusty-sounding voice you can barely hear through it. Enter.
Orden will walk in.
Okay, as he walks in, as you open the door in this one, a door on the other side of the room is shutting, and there's a brilliant light coming through it, and you can hear. Make a nature roll. You can hear sounds of birds coming from behind the door as it shuts, and this brilliant sunlight shining through as it shuts. Yeah, that'll work. The birds you recognize, as you've heard one once in your travels that was actually a trained one. It was a parrot from somewhere off to the southern jungles, south of everywhere that you've ever been. Mal may have traveled that far once, but it's from way down the south. I can't think of anything. It's a C word.
Kalimshan?
Yeah.
That's probably it. I should have these maps handy when
Where Nasir's from, right?
the next across the ocean bay there, and where there's land again.
Oh.
I'll dig it out while we're talking. But anyways, it's not important for that part.
yeah.
He just nods to you as you come on. Come in, come.
Orden would be thinking in his head about Mal and the parrot. Don't notice it. Don't notice it. Don't notice it. That's a 15-minute conversation. He goes in. Master Genthal, we've recovered your artifacts, or at least the lion's share of them. Some were destroyed.
That you have. I can feel them in the air. You've done quite a lot. You've changed quite a lot. Are you all okay?
None the worse for wear.
Do you
Oh,
need
great.
Do you need anything from us? Well, besides, of course, our agreement. Any healing, cures, wounds,
Dear, anyone?
limbs restored?
Anyone feeling particularly cursy?
Mal look at his limbs. No, I'm good. Anybody
I'll
else?
pop my head in. Do you have any tea?
Teeth?
Tea.
Tea!
Tea. Yes.
Thank you, Nasir. I was just digging up the map. Yes, I have tea here. He brings up, just move some of these books. I've had quite a few of the boys through since you've been gone, and these have all been cataloged. They just need to be moved out, so feel free to move them. With war coming, I thought I couldn't put it off much longer.
Gordon walks in and clears off a spot. Hops up on a chair.
Oh, good lord, that map I just uploaded was 26 megs. I never know on some of these pictures. It's very detailed.
Wow, EFU Pro to do that, I think.
Yeah, these guys get money. That's something I need to do before I move. Start going through all my subscriptions and start turning some of these damn things off.
Oh yeah.
So yes, you guys move some books around, and he sort of points at things. The door opens up again, and two young, dark-skinned boys with sort of turbans on their heads come in. The room just floods with light. You can catch the smell of sea behind it, sort of floats in, but a different type of smell to the air. And they apologize, pardon, and pick up piles of books and then head on out. Don't mind the boys.
Where does that go?
It goes into the back room.
Can I go in the back room?
If you want, be careful though. You might not come back.
Oh.
Yeah, odds are you won't.
Oh. Well, they said they needed us at the council chambers. So, Orton, what are we doing here?
Only because you'd be distracted.
We are giving the university their artifacts and collecting our payment and getting our next assignment if we have one.
Oh, about the pool.
Yeah, the pool.
Oh, yeah. We found a pool full of magical energy. Well, it was. We've since drained it because we didn't want to leave it behind. And he'll explain the whole thing to him.
So you see a range of emotions go across him of high interest, and you mentioned the pool, disappointment when you say you've drained it, and then explanation on the rest of why he seems resignated, like, well, okay, that was a good idea. A shame. But probably for the best.
Yeah, that particular entity keeps coming back. So to leave it out there probably wasn't the smartest idea.
Did you, by chance, hear anything? Like, a thrumming?
Now that you
Like-
mention it, I feel like you did say something about that, didn't you, James?
Yes. We had, as you guys were walking towards the place, you heard that. And it was getting faster and faster.
Yeah. He'll say, yeah, now that you mention it, we did. And explain how it seemed to increase as we got closer. As stuff was getting chucked in.
As to as they were feeding the pool. Interesting. And what happened?
They were trying to bring Orcus into the world and damn near succeeded.
Well, that wouldn't have worked out very well for him. He's a very ungrateful demon.
Yeah, I think war would have been the least of our worries if Orcus would have come into the world.
I never understand those warlocks and wizards who try to deal with Orcus. He just wants mayhem. The devils are much more reasonable, even though I personally would never deal with them. So, the thrumming, look for that again. I don't think that's the last you're going to see of these pools. There's something I need to look up, some research to cross-reference, but I have an idea that there are more of them, and there is a relationship between them.
We attempted to take some of the liquid out, and I think we actually succeeded, but it seemed to lose its coloring.
Oh,
Its
it
glow.
would. But at least that verifies what it is. It would. None of you got in it, I hope.
There were some that contemplated it, but thankfully no. We were all.
It was pretty tempting.
I can understand. I would have liked to have journeyed or journaled what actually had happened if you had done so. I imagine, though, that the people around it and their use of it taints it. So if they were good people, good things would happen to you. If they were bad people, as they were in this case, then terrible things would happen to you. And if they're dealing with Orcus, most likely you would have become the undead. Unfortunate.
What do you think, Mel? Don't want to take a dip?
No, nope, I'm good. That was a wise decision.
So he's flipping through all the stuff that you got. You found it! You have the Chronicle! And he takes one of the books that you had found. This will be most helpful. This is the Chronicle of Drazad. It deals with the last time someone has been to the Cragsmaw Castle. Well, it's Cragsmaw now. It wasn't that once upon a time. It was the seat of the Protector Helm, up in the Neverwinter Forest, as they call it now. It was quite the temple once upon a time. But it was overthrown and goblins moved in, and it's been Cragsmaw, their cast place, for quite some time now, at least 100 years.
Master Genthal, genuinely, I would love to sit and discuss history with you at almost any other time, but war is afoot, and we have preparations to make.
We do indeed. Let me research this book, though. I have things, there may be more missions ahead for you. There are things in that place that we need to get out, if they haven't already been found. But anyways, he starts writing down on a piece of paper and logs everything you have found and so forth.
Or I'll check with Nasir and make sure that we're not missing something or anything else we need to know from the university, or tell them.
Oh, you mean later when we actually meet up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, are you not with us?
No, he went off to go see his contacts in town.
Got it. Never mind.
So, do you know why the council's meeting right now?
Oh, it has to do with that local threat, those Sahuagin.
Gesundheit.
Yeah. No, there are these terrible fish creatures. They're usually deep sea. You don't find them this close to shore.
We encountered them, I believe, didn't we? Down with the
I think you did battle a group of them, a couple of them.
was down with the lizard people, but they had a couple of them imprisoned.
Yep.
Oh, the hooligans.
So, I believe that this town, if they don't deal with that threat, will be wiped off the face of the earth.
What?
Probably
How
within
many
the
are there?
fortnight. Oh, there'll be a city of them. They don't travel alone together. They go together as a group.
Well, if that happens, can we go through the back room?
You are a sharp one, aren't you? Yes, you can.
We won't let that happen.
Do you speak Kalimshan by chance?
We travel with one who does.
Oh, very good. That might be useful. But let's hope it doesn't come to that. I think that's what they want you for. Good luck and all that. Try to make it back.
We shall do our best. So, who do we check with to settle up our agreement?
Take this to the quartermaster here. Not that tiefling one across town, our quartermaster here. He hands you this piece of paper that he's been journaling everything in and writing numbers next to it in some language. You will see to your account, and if you have anything else you need, just let him know and they will draft it.
Much appreciated. We'll definitely check in with you once this has all been sorted out.
I do hope to see you again. It would be a shame if this was the end of our relationship.
Oh, we have a terrible knack for staying alive.
Very true.
which is why I came to you, or why you were sent to me.
We'll meet again. With that, we'll
Um,
shoot out to the quartermaster.
before Thorin leaves, he's gonna turn around and just ask Solomon. I'm sorry, Master Solomon. But we faced a Bodak before we found the pool, and he said something to me that has just been on my mind since then. He said that soon they'll be coming for my father's phylactery, and I'm not very trained in arcana, arcana arts, I guess. And I would just wonder, do you know what the phylactery is?
Oh my, what?
Yes,
Can you, do you know the exact wordings?
he said, soon I'll be coming for your father's phylactery too.
Sounds like a bad
By
word.
by the way, you hear from the middle of nowhere, Nasir's voice go. You said a what?
Phylactery.
Your father is a lich? What did you? What?
I mean, he's a sorcerer, and the moment the
No.
Bodak said it,
No.
it is set wrong with me, and I mean, I hope not.
No. He is not a sorcerer. He may have been a sorcerer, but now he is a lich. That is no good, my friend.
Orden and a couple others, you may go ahead and make intelligence rolls. High DC though, because it really wasn't talking to you.
Arcana or
Just
nature?
intelligence.
Just straight intelligence.
Yeah, because it's a memory
hell
thing.
yeah.
Oh my god. Mal, you happen to remember it because you thought it was really cool. You were so focused on what the Bodex was saying. He's got it close. It was actually called a feretory.
Yeah, it's not his flask. It's not what you were saying.
Phylactery.
That is
It
phallus.
was his phallus story.
His
P word.
phallus? What is you talking about? The old man, get right. He puts a little chalkboard up, some chalk. Spell it out for me. I think you boys are misspelling this.
He'll spell it out.
Oh, well, interesting, but thank God it wasn't a flact. The other one holds the souls of dead wizards.
Oh,
Yeah,
That's not a
sorry
fun
for the
place.
confusion.
yeah, well, I'm glad. That was an interesting moment.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
should I still be concerned, or
Oh, yes, of course, but at least you know your father hasn't become part of the hells, which is good.
it's nice to know.
A feretory is a relic. It's like the bones of a saint.
Kind of the opposite of what you're talking about.
Well, I guess it would be. If a powerful being dies like a saint or an exalted one of the blessed of the gods, or a god itself dies, their bodies or parts, or even maybe even some of their things can become feretories, holding parts of their power. Perhaps your father has one of these.
Congrats, your dad's a saint.
Thorin just laughs. I don't. I know.
Okay.
Well, thank you. It takes a load off my mind. That means I will need to stop by and talk to him eventually. Then, if he's on the radar of Orcus.
Hey, one final thing, Master Solomon. Of these scattering these artifacts that we brought back, are there any that are relatively mundane but that do contain some magical power, but that wouldn't be of much use to the university?
Well, most of these. It's just, since you brought up the point of feretories, a lot of these things you brought back are sort of that thing. They are items that were held by someone of great power. Maybe a cup that a god drank from, or the gods walked among us not too long ago, actually, by weird events that happened, and some of the things that they held and carried have gained powers, become relics of a sort, though they don't do anything. But they hold power of the divine.
Are there any that would be particularly mundane to the university that you wouldn't mind me holding on to Doesn't matter what they are, as long as they're imbued with some sort of magical power.
If you care to keep some as a curiosity, sure.
What sorts of things are there, James? Like in numbers? And first of all, let me tell you, full disclosure, what I plan to do. His 6th level ability for wizards. It's not great, but it's something. It's a power surge. So anytime I cast counterspell or dispel magic on something, I can store that magical energy to essentially do 3 extra damage during a spell for every power surge he has. He can have up to 4 of them. And so I figure if they're little mundane magic items, he'd have to burn the spell slot to dispel, but then take the charge.
So I'm sorry, I'm missing part of also because I'm also trying to find out how much he was willing to give you. So I'm doing double duty. Sorry. How are you going to use these magic items? Power surge. I'll read it. In my note.
Yeah, so if I cast Dispel Magic or Counterspell on a magical item or someone casting a spell, I can store some of that power to add a little damage. A very little, 3 points. But every point counts. It's
Well,
half
why do you
your
need the
wizard level.
object? I'm missing that part. You can store magic within yourself.
Because I'd have to dispel magic on something, you know.
Oh, so you're thinking you can try to dispel one of these items?
Right. And then take the charge to use.
I don't think you could dispel one of these items because they're like relic levels. And so it's one of those things where you have to go to like an epic quest thing to try to destroy them or drop them in one of those pools or something.
Gotcha. It was worth a shot.
Yeah.
Other than that, I'm good though.
Yeah, it's kind of an expensive feature. You know, it's useful if it happens, but I wouldn't say it'd be worth trying to make it happen.
Right. And it's for everything that the War Wizard does have. The fact that their 6th level ability is lackluster, it kind of balances.
Well, I'll let you dig. It's in our chat somewhere between you and I think, is where we talked about actual money numbers, I think. I see the dragon piece.
You had told us in game when we were talking to him before we left, but this would have been before Ricky and Odo joined us. I want to say it was either 500 apiece or 1,000 apiece.
I think that was for the books, because that was what he was also looking for. And then the artifacts he mentioned, they would just buy those off of you, so that'll just be value.
Well, I remember he offered a monetary amount to each of us. Like, if you bring these objects back, then
I'll go back and listen to the recording then. We won't have to worry about it for this adventure. If you need to buy armor, though, you'll have the money for that. But I don't know if you're going to find armor for a gnome in plate mail within a day.
Yeah, it's true. I'd like to craft it anyway.
Okay.
Maybe we'll have some downtime coming up.
There you go.
Yeah, I don't think I have any in the bag here.
So if anybody have anything they want to go shopping for, do in town here for the next 5 hours now.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
You just said you were gonna make your own suit of plate-mail?
Yeah, I made the half plate I'm wearing.
Okay. I also have proficiency in smith tools. You want some help?
You can have the time. Heck yeah.
I don't think I'm doing anything else.
I doubt you'd
Perfect.
finish it up to today, though, right? That's like
Yeah, no, that'd
yeah.
be a
weeks long.
multi-week. Yeah.
But I mean, it would literally like cut the time in half.
Yes, that would be awesome. Yeah, I'm a level 1 forge cleric before he became a wizard.
Oh, I was wrong. Bells are only a half hour long. I thought they were.
God, we're gonna be
So-
late.
So you only had 3 hours total. So 1 hour's down. You got 2 more hours to go.
And Merrick's not in town. He left town, right?
Correct. Merrick actually is on his way on up to Lucic.
He was gonna give him back all the stuff that he had in his bag of his.
Oh, you go.
He'll-
Go dump it at the house next time you're there.
Yeah, he'll go back and put it at the house when he does.
If anybody wants a good map of the entire continent of Faerun, I just sent it over to save it off. Okay. I'm gonna delete it afterwards. Though that's way too big to be sitting in here. So now where? Anything you want to do in the next 3 hours, or are we going to roll into the council meeting, or?
Mal might go and just restock some of the supplies for the ship, make sure everything's good. If we're going to be
Luscan.
asked to do something.
Luscan, I guess is the name of it. That's where he went, Merrick. Okay. Food supplies and stuff. Did you need to go buy the healer and get healing potions?
No.
You guys are pretty loaded there.
I mean,
We are loaded.
it's the Ida, the alchemist lady in town. Like Thorn really wants some more boom powder.
Oh, you mean Zickle?
Zickle.
Yes.
Yeah, Zickle, yeah.
Zackle.
Zickle, all right.
Well, yeah, that's actually right across the way.
Let's do it.
Yeah, Thorn would probably pop his head in there on the way to the council then.
That's on D5.
Hey, Adam, remind me. It takes a full day to craft a first level spell scroll, right?
Yes.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Oh, and James, invisibility and mirror image.
Nice.
Just so we're on the
Good
up and
choices.
on board. Orden has a counter spell and 2 shields in his ring.
Just log it somewhere on your sheet.
Yeah, it is. I just make sure I let you know.
You can't put cantrips in that ring, can you?
Alas, no. Only
Ah.
leveled slots. Yeah, that
That's
would have been
what-
awesome.
That's why I was like, oh, I wonder. No, it didn't say anything.
Yeah, infinite number, 0 level.
I'll take all the spells, please.
So, the guys here lead you, our two new folks, they lead you up the street a little bit, just over to the right as you go up, or I guess I should say to the right. Ahead of you is a large hall. It's a 2-story structure with a large piece in the middle. It's got steps going up to it, and it looks like you're looking at the back, but it's pretty magnificent. It must be a seat of power or something in town. They're going to a building on the left to a little shop there, which is an apothecary. And there's inside the apothecary is a good-looking lady who works there. She has sort of a darker skin. Looks like she might be from the same place that Nasir is from.
Hi, Zicky.
And she's looks somewhat pleased as you all walk in. Gentlemen, it's been a while. I'm glad to see you're all together.
Yes, ma'am.
Get all your stuff back.
The books, yes.
Oh,
Did
good.
you have any of the books in still in your bag?
Ugh.
At this point, we probably would have given them back. I
By now.
assumed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me look, but I'm pretty sure now. No.
Thank you. That was quite the harrowing experience with that ruffian of a noble in town.
Yeah, he's a big jerk.
Glad you got rid of him. So how are things? Have you had a chance to try out the powder?
As she says that, Thorn just starts smiling. Yes, ma'am, we have.
She kicks out a chair. Have a seat. Tell me all about it. I need to know actual dimensions, sizes, size of explosion, loudness, if on a scale, and she starts rattling away information, trying to get details out of you.
Thorn goes on. He talks. Yeah, he tells her about we blew a kraken up, we put some inside a mug, and we made a flashbang. This giant explosion, blinding people. The powder, I'd say a godsend. And you, a saint. I swear, my woman, I'd die for you.
She just laughs. I am so glad you put it to good use.
Actually, I came and starts tapping his fingers together. Could you possibly have more?
I think we can arrange that. Yes.
I'd be happy to pay for everything. I'd pay for dinner. I'd pay for drinks. I'd pay for the powder. Anything you need.
So she wants you just to it starts off with just trying to get details.
Thorn would do his best to explain how they've used it, like how they made the like flashbang type, and how we've been using like almost mug size explosions and
the pillar.
Yeah, we blew a pillar up with it. We took a tentacle off a kraken with it, with most of it, the big jug of it.
Orden is gonna cast guidance on Thorin without his knowledge, so as he's explaining it, he's winning her over even more.
Becoming more eloquent.
Uh-huh.
So yes, the two of them are. She's quite happy typing notes. She's sort of forgotten about the rest of you all there. Did anybody have anything they needed to interrupt her about or ask her for? Or do you want to just leave the two of them alone?
Once they're done, Mal's gonna talk to her for a second.
Orden
Okay.
grabs Mal by the collar and says, "Read the room."
I know. I'm waiting
dragging him
patiently.
towards the door.
I know. I'm waiting patiently, just like I did with you and your old man. Words.
Oh,
He says,
So
but
eventually, then
we have to get lots of that powder, not just he looks really serious, actually. He kind of drops the grin and says, we have to get a lot of that powder, Orden. We can't just get the barrel or two. We need a lot if we're going to shoot off those guns. As he kind of puts his hand in his bag on the orb.
Something tells me our friend over here is going to take everything he can get from Sickle.
All right.
So she hears a bit about guns. That stops her mid sentence as she's talking. Looks over. You're making guns, cannons.
He says, yes. And he kind of has that same kind of serious look. He says, Sickle, we need a lot of that powder.
She claps her hands in delight. Oh, it's been so many years. I was so excited when we finally found this recipe, and I was hoping we could finally get around to building cannons again. It's been so many years since I've heard a good cannon explosion.
We
You know
also
about them.
would very much like your discretion and keep this just between us for now, if you take my
Oh,
drift.
I've seen the cannons, but I've never actually. I don't know how to build them or anything, but I definitely know how to make the powder. That's what this was all about. When the gods took away the power of the gunpowder, we decided to find a new way. And then the gnomes found a new route.
Let's
The
just make sure
gnomes of Lantan, and we discovered it through them. And she starts rambling on about it. And you hear somewhere in that line, Orden, you hear your parents' name being mentioned as part of the research of looking into this.
He would definitely ask after that, but he'd also make it very clear to her, like, look, we're not trying to advertise that we need this in any quantity. Only the people we trust, you being one of them, are we kind of pulling into this.
Well, depends on the volume. When you get to a certain volume, there's no longer any secrets. If you start building for an army,
Well,
then
just
people are going to find out. If you're just building for your own ship, then yes, that we can keep that quiet.
start making preparations. Maybe talk about a mine nearby that someone is looking to build. So you're going to need a lot of powder to get down under the ground. Whatever you have to say, but for now, and eventually the secret's going to get out. But we really don't want to advertise it, draw more attention to Saltmarsh than we need to.
Absolutely. We can work something out here on this.
We
Thank
also
you.
don't want to let our enemies know that we are preparing.
So I will start drafting the ideas of what we would need to start, and then show you some scaling, and you can help me figure out where we get funding, and we'll go from there. But the immediate thing, as I understand, is that we have to survive the next week or two.
Yeah, what's all this about the hooligans coming?
Well, there's rumor that they're preparing. There's been more and more attacks, more people being captured, and a few people have escaped, and they've mentioned that they're amassed in numbers. And so rumor is, the feeling is that it's just a matter of time. Some of those of the spirit world have done auguries and have noticed that the day is coming, that they will be here within a fortnight.
Well, has anyone spoken to those regenerating lizards?
The what?
The lizard guys.
The lizardmen?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're here. And she points over to the building next door.
Oh.
There's the
okay.
council. Everybody's here.
Oh,
The
good. All right.
mermen, they're all here.
Whew. Okay. I was just wondering. I thought it was just us, and that's why everyone was all worried. But okay,
No,
if we
they're
were all here.
putting together an army, and so there's something else going on. I don't know the details. I'm not in the circles of power.
Okay. All right.
I only
Thank
know
you.
because some of these people have been coming in buying healing potions.
The best in the land, right?
I try.
I'll just kind of walk around the shop and look around until everyone's
Okay.
done.
She has another keg available that's from a different batch that she wants reactions on, Thorn, that she gives you.
All right, Thorn takes those very
What is
eagerly.
it? Sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, Thorin. Go ahead, bud.
Oh, he's took it. You can go ahead. I'm sorry about that.
Potion of healing. She's half price, right? 25 a piece from
Yes,
her.
because you
or
guys
is
are
that-
supplying all the equipment. I mean, the stuff.
In that case, I better grab one. I have a couple of those scrolls, but I like to keep a potion on hand too.
You know, there's like 11 in the bag.
Is there?
Yeah. I
Oh,
mean, unless
okay.
you really want to have another one outside. I mean, you can have any of the ones in the bag. They're for all of us.
Nope. Yeah, I'll take one out of the bag then. I just like to have one on me.
Okay, and Odo Ricare, do you want anything from the alchemist?
Nothing that I can think of at the moment.
Okay.
Do you guys have healing potions on you? Because everybody should have. If we've got that many, everybody should have at least one.
I'll reach into the bag and grab it. 2.
Yeah, Thorn has 4 on him.
Okay, so how many are we taking out? We're taking 2, and Odin's taking 1.
Orden's taking 1. Yep.
Oh, this is an old sheet. I'll mark it
I
down on my character sheet.
Okay, so I copied your character sheet over. Oh, that's right, because the
Sam needs to
I had
come
to
over.
copy over the. I can bring it over too. Just go ahead and close it first, and I'll just move it over right now.
Okay.
Bag of holding. Choose game.
So that's 3 down. Anybody else?
Thorn's good.
Also known as Sam, you've named your bag of holding.
Yes.
Okay.
Our bag of holding.
I'm sorry.
It's a nice name.
Well, you know what?
Well, you got a second bag now.
Oh, that's true. Who's holding that? What's his name? Or her?
Orden's got it.
Once he got Rappy, he's like, well, everyone needs a name now.
He's just start naming everything.
Maybe the bag will start talking.
Yeah. Just needed a name, that's all.
Orden's got that thing tied super tight to the very front of him too, so it's like he's essentially aware of it at all times. He's gonna guard that bag like it's his life.
Okay, anything else?
And the barrel could fit. The keg could fit inside a bag, right?
There's half of one in Sam right now, and maybe we shouldn't keep both of them in the same bag.
All right.
Yeah, put the other one in
All
Orden's.
right. You go over to Orden. Take very good care of it. And then as he puts it in, he's gonna kiss it. But God, I love that woman.
I think she likes you too.
Good. As long as she keeps that cup coming, I ain't going nowhere.
So should we go
Alright.
to the council meeting, I guess?
Yep.
Yes.
We shouldn't leave them waiting.
How long till the meeting starts at this point?
Maybe an hour, if that.
An hour. I mean, if you go now, we go now. Get started. I mean, if everyone's there.
Looks like there's double tokens on the board right now.
Oh, I'm dragging people around, so not surprising.
There's 2 Rick.
Okay. Anything else then? Otherwise, I'll just switch this over.
Nope. I'm good.
Okay, there's more people in this, but I don't want to drag everybody in the world out for this. It's not that important. And the city hall. Where'd you go? There it is. So the council halls is the main building of the council. For those who haven't been here before, you enter in through through the front door. There's these two huge statues of heroes of yore. Some areas there's clerks and stuff there to take and help out. There's a library off to one side, which is where most people go. Maybe some sort of dance room or something over to the other area. Ahead is the council chambers, a large room with two raised daises or platforms on either side that have chairs for the various dignitaries, important folks of the town. A bunch of benches down below as well for other folks. The room is pretty full with all the voting members of the council as well as some of the military are there. I only dragged in about a third of the people that are in there.
Are these couches empty, or?
Yeah, you can take the couches too, or you can go sit on the benches.
Mal's gonna go relax on the couch, put his feet
Okay.
up.
Deacon Diggle is there. He's still alive, right? Or there was a new guy? The new guy,
Yeah.
Deacon, did make it. The
Dig-
other
no, Dig-
halfling.
I think Diggle made it.
Yeah, nothing killed him that I know.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
he was in the hole still. Hey, Diggy!
that's right. He was in the hole. That's right. And there was the new mayor who's there as well that you all met, the mayor of the halfling town. And then a few other folks you don't know. Some of the dwarf, the red-headed dwarf that Orden seems to be having a relationship with.
Copperlocks.
Copperlocks.
Manistrad, Copperlocks.
Yeah. Let's drop
Gives
her
her
in
a
there
wink.
too. She'll be up there in one of the areas. She frowns and then smiles. And
Is Farron there?
who?
The druid?
Yes, he's
Okay.
one of these tokens up there. The halfling druid. And then as well in here is a few people or races you may not have actually ever met. Some of them, I don't know if you met them at the lizard place because there were dignitaries there, but I don't know if you actually ever met the dignitaries that were there. There is, let me bring up my list. Hold on, sorry. Fortunately, the details of who's there is in the other game. So let me just bring up the book.
Don't.
No. Come on, D&D Beyond faster. Sources. There are a couple of the lizard folk are there. There is the old man that you met, the one that actually speaks common, and his the sub chief as well. Sub Chief Earthos, who you've met. He was a bit gruff, but he at least was, he knew you all, and he was the one that was number 2 behind the queen. And then the old diplomat who was there as well, Minister Sarev, he's here. There's a few merfolk that are here as well. That's a sea elf, Oceanus, who you met. He's there. What do merfolk look like in this game? Because they mentioned they have problem walking. Do they have actual legs?
Oh,
Yeah,
is it a sea elf or is it a merfolk?
That one's the sea elf. I think I'm going to drag a couple merfolks on here too.
Okay. Yeah, aren't merfolk basically like mermaid and mermen? Like,
I thought so.
got
I
like
think
tuna.
They can breathe air and water because they mentioned in the book saying it says, "Oh, they have difficulty walking." I'm like, well, yeah, they got no legs.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got like
Boing,
tuna
boing.
legs.
I think they're bipeds, but they've got like flippers, so they're like, would be walking with
I don't know.
scuba flippers on.
Yeah, kind of like doing a potato sack race wherever they went.
Exactly.
They just lift their knees really high. It'll be easy to get around.
I think they have tails.
They have tails.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
All right. Well,
Maybe they
then
inchworm it.
What, in a wheelbarrow, maybe?
Yeah.
I'm gonna. There is a large trough of water set up in one corner. We'll put 2 of them because there are probably other races as well. And I will put the merfolk in one of these troughs. So there's a merfolk in front of you. Mal.
Hi,
There's
I'm Mal.
two of them lounging there as like it's a sofa type of thing.
Is that water warm?
They look at you briefly. One of them sort of smiles, the female of the two. Yes, it is.
What's your name? Somebody.
Yeah, exact. We'll give a name for him in a sec, though. And then Locanth. There's a couple of Locatha here as well. Locatha look like fish. So these are... Does everybody see that or just me? Do I have to hit Control Z or something for the make?
Yeah, Shift Z.
So that's the Mer Lady.
Nice.
And then Locatha, let me drop a couple of them on there as well. And then we'll get going with the stuff that's important before the whole night goes away. Locath Hunters. Okay.
Rockfish.
Yeah.
He says that out loud.
They look like rockfish.
I always stab
That's
myself
neat.
when I'm eating rockfish.
You're supposed to. Oh wait, I'm not gonna say that.
But they do have legs. Okay, there we go. Enough of the toys. Clear, I'm playing with dolls now. Let's stop moving the tokens. Okay, so moving on then. So there's a council of there. We have races from shore and land as well around here. There's a on the table in the middle is some diagrams laid out, a few pieces of paper that have some rough drawings on it. There's people standing about talking, looking at the papers and so forth. There's also folks arguing in the back. Finally, it's been a long time messing with these people. Edda interrupts and calls for order. Edda Olander, who's sort of the head of the town, a matriarch of the town. Gentlemen, we need to focus and move things on. Our friends and heroes are back. It is time to talk about business and our next steps in this endeavor. They all start settling down their areas. As you know, the auguries have said that we will be attacked within a fortnight. We feel then that we need to preempt this with an attack of our own. Take it to them. We know the lair, we know the land. What we don't know is the numbers and the changes. We need to have more information. Eleander is agreeing. Yes, we need to have a reconnaissance. We need to know their numbers and their strengths, what they're capable of. Do we have enough here? If we stand and we are not able to stand without help from the outside cities, we'll be crushed. We have time now to get aid if we need it. A couple of the others timid out. There will be a cost if we bring aid in from Neverwinter or Waterdeep. That aid will not come freely. So Anders comes running in at the last minute, then looking around. Oh, good, you guys are here. You're here a little early. Oh, that's the water. Move it to the back.
We wanted to figure out what was going on.
Well, now that we're all in here. He nods, and a couple of the guards shut the doors in the back. There's rumors there might be spies, or at least those who would look on this as an opportunity. That the fall of this town, or at least its harming, would do them well. And so we're trying to keep our actions down to a minimum. Eleander said it was best if we don't broadcast our efforts. So, well, gentlemen, Eleander says, as your Do you find yourself fit for a mission of sorts? We'd like to hire you again.
I feel good. I mean, I would like a nice night's rest on shore, but what's the? I don't know. What's going on?
We could probably see to a day, maybe. We need a strike force to put together.
Ooh.
And a couple of them lean forward or listening sort of quiet. The room gets real quiet. We need a group of people to get into the Sahuagin fortress and to determine the number and strength of their forces, to find out how many warriors, the other person interjects, and their troops. How many troops do they have besides warriors? The lieutenants. Yes, I said, I'll getting to that. Their troops, lieutenants, the disposition of their forces.
Like
And
they're grumpy?
the wizard speaks up as well. It says, we need to find out where they are in the fortress, where they keep the barracks of them, where the officers are quartered, the leaders are housed. Then we can move against them. Yes, Elander then comes back and says, also, find traps. We'll be moving in mass, and we need to know what types of traps they have. Areas that are specifically readied for defense, and any other dangers that our attacking forces must overcome. And then Edda interrupts, and don't forget, we need to know when they're coming. Auguries have said within 24 days, but that could be tomorrow, that could be next week, it could be in a couple of weeks. If we know when they come, then we can strike first.
Right, so they're asking for the numbers, the disposition of troops, any traps, their timetable, anything about their leadership, and anything specific about their plans so far, right?
Exactly. And Farron interrupts. Well, you all are leaving one important factor out. The whole damn thing's underwater.
Oh.
Their fortress is underwater.
Their entire fortress is underwater, Edda mentions. The Lishermen
You-
tell me that once it was above water, but they have done something, and their reconnaissance and returning to the area, for those who actually escaped again with their lives to tell the tale, has said that somehow or another these foul beings have sunk the entire island into the water, and only the tip now sticks out of the ocean.
You just leave that aspect to us. I'm more worried about we're supposed to do this sneakily, get in and get out. That's hasn't really been our MO in the past.
These are warrior creatures, one of the Locanthus says. They expect fighting and they have incursions, and that's why they have defenses. I don't think that a small group doing damage on them would put them off to thinking that they need to launch their attack now. So you could come in with force, but as a small scouting group. They might see you mainly as raiders. But we can't move all of us there. If the entire group goes, if we bring all our massed armies together against them and then find out that we are outnumbered or fall into their traps, we will be at a disadvantage.
This fortress is underwater. How do you plan on attacking it?
We have had... who speaks up? The wizard. Actually, no, it'll be... what's this guy's name? Why are none of these people attached to their tokens anymore? How annoying. NPCs. There they are. Welgard Brinehan, the cleric of the town, who most of you have, well, two of you haven't met. He's a dark-looking sailor. Wonder if I could, let's post his picture. Copy image. I can take care of that. We have been working on that for some time. With the help of the various apothecaries across town, we have put together enough potions to be able to enable our entire army to breathe underwater.
For how long?
24 hours. These potions, if you need them, will also be supplied to you.
We have Orden says quietly to the rest of the group, we have other means for that too.
Yeah, but we could always use a potion.
Little wiggle of my fingers and you're good for 24 hours. And it's a
But then you
ritual.
lose your spell.
Nope, it's a ritual, so I can cast
Oh,
it
nice.
on everybody.
And
Oh, yeah.
are you all set? Is a preemptive strike what you really want?
We could be ready within a week to strike. It will take us a day to 2 days to get the entire forces down there. It'll take you a day. We'll be moving slower with everybody and to get everybody in position. If you make it out and give us the information, then we can all attack together. We're still going to attack one way or the other, but the loss in life will be much higher if we don't have this information.
What is your timetable? How long do we have to complete this mission if we take it?
Our guesses is 2 weeks.
I see.
But we don't really know exactly when they're going to attack. It could be sooner. That's their urgency. I would prefer to know sooner and then have the time to prepare.
Would look over Orden. Is there any way we can communicate remotely without returning to give them more time? Do you have a trick like that?
I don't out of character, I don't have any sort of sending stones. What else? Oops, I didn't mean to post that. I was just gonna read it.
We've got multiple stones, haven't we, from certain people?
Oh, we did get sending stones back at that
We picked up 3
on the
believe.
island.
Yep.
I think we have 2 sets of them, right?
Mm-hmm. We could leave one with one or maybe both sets of the town, so we can send up to 2 messages a day. Send or receive.
Can you only send 1 a day in those?
Yep. Each pair can work once a day to basically send and then receive a message. So if we have 2 pairs, we can do that twice. So they can send one and get it back, and we can send one, or vice versa, or any combination.
Right. Yeah, that works.
This way, basically, if we go there and we find that they're getting ready to attack like ASAP, we can at least basically send a message back, being like, "Hey, this is going down." And otherwise, that way, once we find the information, we can actually send it. We can get them the information immediately instead of having to wait for us to come back, so they can pre-plan. If we need
But
to, we use both stones to give 50 word instead of 25 word message.
I would say leave it with someone we trust, and at this point, that list is probably just Eleander, and I would trust Copperlocks, but she's not really on the council.
Eleander's obviously going to be the one, I'm assuming, doing all the organization of the military, so that makes the most sense. Plus, he's trustworthy.
Yep, we'll give them to Eleander then. And then for the other ones, Orden will hold on to one, and then Nasir the other, just so they're not both in one spot.
Give the other one to Mal.
Okay, that works.
Hello?
Yeah, if things go pear-shaped, then Nasir's not going to be one of the ones making it out.
I've got a question. So you said there were documents on this table. What kind of documents are on here?
So as you look at them, one of the lizard men speaks up. The older one, actually, no, the warrior one is a big lizard man. He's quite large, man. He sort of walks over. These are the maps of my people. Our artisans have drawn these to show you what our place looked like. These should help you in your efforts.
Actually, could I perhaps be of assistance with this?
And I will Unfortunately, the maps are over the other one, but I'll post them in Discord as well. They're in the other game because that's where the actual module's at.
What's on the maps isn't too important right now.
Okay.
What's the sub chieftain's name?
Ixos?
Yep.
Earthos.
It says
Ertos, or whatever. Ertos.
Ertos. How is your memory of your home? Good.
Yes.
All right. Come over here to the side with me for a moment.
He looks a little whatever, and then sort of looks around a bit. Go, yes, and walks with you.
Lead me over to the side. I'm going to basically spend some time basically working with him and with silent illusion silent image, basically create basically like a cutaway, like his home, basically like sliced into pieces and divided up into like levels, so you can see
Okay.
each level, and basically work with him to basically if he'll tell me like, this is a room here, this is a room here, I'll recast it, be like, look, is this right? No, yes, until I finally have basically like a full 3-dimensional actual like image of what it is inside, instead of just basically a flat map, which may or
So
may
it
not
will
be
take some
correct.
time, but he will do that with you.
Yeah, so that'll be the rest. That'll be basically what I'm going to spend, I guess, however long that takes of the meeting.
Because you're finding that this place is a lot bigger than you thought it was. It's at least 3 levels.
Yeah, but if we can get basically like a good representation of this, I think that'll be
Absolutely.
far more valuable. So that's what I'll spend the rest of my time doing until you tell
Okay.
me it's done.
I have another question for the council. As of right now, do you believe that your forces are larger than theirs, or
No idea.
yet you still plan a preemptive assault?
That's why we would need you.
But you have said that you would do this regardless.
Yes. If we don't, we have to fight them here. And here are our children, our homes, our businesses, people who are not warriors, and we will be at a disadvantage.
Well, I'm not so sure about the second part, but
And then our allies from the sea cannot help us here as much as they would there.
let's see. So therein lies the problem.
And there's their amazing maps.
Those hooligans look like nothing.
Well, this is when they lived there. Those are lizardmen.
Oh,
Should the town be attacked, do you have a plan?
For defense, absolutely. But the problem is we don't know what we're up against.
Alright. So long as you have a plan for defense. Yeah, I'll just continue looking over these documents.
Okay. There's not much to them. They look like a 3-year-old drew them.
Let's see. And just so we have a comparison, how large are your forces?
There's about 100 people here, and then about another 100 combined from the other races of the sea. So about 200 soldiers.
And these are all soldiers.
To a point, yes. They're all people who've been trained to fight. City guards and retired folks. I mean, it is a smaller town. They don't have a huge military.
So we're working with 100 if people on shore, and about 200 if we were fighting on the sea. Unfortunately, in the ocean, in the middle of the ocean, there's not too many advantages you can take. There's not too many things you can take advantage of.
Yeah, luckily it's not in the middle, thank God. It's because it wasn't a peninsula once upon a time where the lizardmen lived on. And then these guys sank the entire peninsula, except for the tip. So now it's an island. But it's still just a bit offshore.
Oh, okay, wait a second. So they're on an island.
Yes, it's a small island. up
Okay.
offshore, about 50 miles south of
When
you.
you said they were underwater, I had assumed that you meant that they had some kind of underwater base.
They do. That's the thing, though,
Okay.
is the base is underwater and it's filled with water. Only the tip of the island, the mountain, think of it like a volcano type thing, is sticking up out of the
Okay,
sea
so
now.
only the tips of that are so alright.
Yeah,
got it.
so you could land there and try to enter through the top, or try to enter through somewhere underwater. But they are a water-breathing people.
Got it. So this entire island is hollow. Or
Yeah.
Pretty much. Okay.
There's a base in it.
Alright.
If I'm game, I think we're just going to need some of those potions.
How many days worth do you need each? How long do you think you'd be under? 3 days? 2? Hopefully just a
should-
day.
Orden says we shouldn't need more than one
He-
apiece, and that's just for emergencies. I can literally cover all 10 of you with.
Thorn also has his cloak, so he's good on the water breathing.
Yeah, I
as
think a
well.
couple of you have some water-breathing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So yes, he definitely he sends someone out, the runner, to bring in a box, and the guy comes back with a little case that has all these little bottles in it. There's a dozen of them in there.
Okay.
Would hold all of you to each if you needed.
Mal, you can
Excellent.
take Ordens even if you want, if you're looking to stockpile a few.
Well, we actually have 7 in the bag already.
Maybe just take half the container then.
Yeah,
Leave it
yeah.
soldiers.
One
He'll
on
take-
me, I guess. Yeah.
He'll take 6.
Okay.
How much is in this container?
It's a potion for 1 day of breathing underwater, and motion. Yeah, breathing underwater, and you can move through water. I think or just breathing underwater.
Just breathing.
Val? Hoarding? What? No.
Yeah.
I'll take 2.
Okay. Anything else anybody wants to do? Planning, things you need, gear.
Yeah, outfit the ship.
So, question: after I get done working with the with sub chief, do we get any more detail or any more information in the map that they've drawn? Any additional information we can use?
You can now, at least maybe the heights of the different rooms, elevation, stuff like that. Yeah, a little bit better. I can give you a little more details on these maps. Is that the little sun on all of them is to the east, but I sort of I rotated them all facing that. No, west. Sorry, to the west. The setting sun is what that sun is.
So the upper level is meant to be upside down.
Yeah, it didn't come that way, but I rotated it around because they couldn't imagine. Well, normally they're printouts, and you could do that on your own, but I couldn't imagine you guys having to try to rotate it in your head every time we looked at them.
Oh, I already did that. Sorry, I'll fix
That's
it.
right. You rotate it back.
Yeah, I made a copy and I rotated it, so I figured it was a copying error. Oh well.
Yeah, I was just trying to get the suns on the same side, so now they're all the direction that they go.
All right, so the upper level, where is the actual so there's an island, and I assume that there's a way from the island into all these chambers. Where in the upper level is that entrance?
Well, it's good to know that, but I don't think we should enter through there. I think that's exactly what they'd be expecting surface dwellers to do. If we're getting in incognito.
But if we
I
need to
think
get
we
out,
should.
well, if we need to get out,
If we
Sure.
need to get out, why? I suppose we could. How fast do you think we could leave? Or how fast do you think you could get a ship going?
Got one in the harbor.
getting a ship up to the top.
Well, getting a ship to escape. How fast do you think you can get one moving?
Well, that's actually a good point. If we're going to take the ship to get there, we should actually, one of the stones should go to Eleander, the other one should go to the ship captain, so we can communicate remotely.
I've already got one.
Unless we plan on swimming back on an escape.
I don't think that'd be reasonable.
I could. I can alter self and be essentially a fish. Thorin could.
Yeah, I mean-
He's got the cloak of the manta ray.
Yeah, I mean, I could turn into any one of the races that can swim. So, but I still wouldn't want to, especially not with that many Sahuagin all around.
Right.
So, yeah, so we should take the ship as close as possible, then basically bail out, and then try and get close on foot. Question mark.
I think so.
And
Was
do
there
we have
anyone that
anything
has?
to get in? I doubt there's a door underwater.
Does anyone have any knowledge of the base as far as alternate entrances?
Yeah, that's why I'm going through all the stuff. I'm
Yeah.
on the
So looking at the upper level with the way the map is in Discord, upside down like it is, you'll see a little staircase near what I'm going to call the top, the way I posted it, and there's a little lizard man going up and down the stairs there. That's the way in that they know of.
top of the map.
Yeah, the top of the map. There's a little teeny staircase there.
First floor. Mal says, remember, it's hard to swing a weapon down there too, so we might want to think about what we take.
What kinds of weapons are easiest to swing down there?
My crossbow seemed to work, but it didn't go very far.
Odo will look at his quiver of javelins, spears, and tridents and be like, I think I got us covered if you need.
Right, and do we have the map of basically how the floors connect together, so we know
The
how
little
to get?
staircases that are on each floor, you can sort of see them. Like the middle level, there's a little staircase there that goes on the top that goes down to the bottom level. On the bottom of the middle level, there's a little staircase that goes up to the first level.
Okay, yeah, for the upper level, I only see the one staircase, and that you said that's to the
Yeah,
up
they're
and out.
not. You'll need to put one on there. It's the staircase going down on this first level. There's a room with two little dudes facing. It looks like a doorway type of thing. It's actually in that room. They left it off.
Okay, and that's the down
Yeah,
to the
that
next
goes
level.
down.
Okay. And where does that match up on the mid level?
Pretty much the same thing on the mid level. You'll see a little staircase in the middle of the map towards the bottom. Right in the room there.
Okay, yeah. And then the staircase in the upper right hand of that one is the one that goes down to the below
Yeah,
level.
the ones in the upper left and upper right both go down.
Does the sub chief have any? Does the sub chief say if there's any of these rooms that are kind of basically like rooms of importance that basically that they'd be more likely Sahuagin would be more likely to basically put anything important in or basically do anything with?
We don't understand those devils. We don't know what they would think.
Is there any entrances into this place aside from the through the very top that you know of?
The lower levels, there's an entrance at the bottom. You sort of see it on the map actually, when the one at the top and one looks like there's one at the top and one at the bottom.
Okay, so I see one staircase there.
But there's actually, if you look at the lower level map, there's two tunnels. One at the very bottom of the map that just sort of goes open, and the same thing at the top that just goes open. It looks like there's water there.
Okay, and the two staircases, the stair to the left and the right, are they up? Okay.
Exactly.
Can they tell us basically like where each of those outlets go to?
Well, in their time, they came out onto the island, but now this is underwater, so somewhere out in the ocean.
All right, so we'll probably have to scout around and figure it out.
All right, Let's do it to it.
And since they're familiar with fighting these enemies, do they have any kind of specific advice to give us about basically what we might be facing in terms of what their magic casters do, what their tactics are, and what other kind of beasts they might employ when they fight? Anything that can help us prepare properly.
The old lizardman speaks up on that one. To be honest, young man, we were completely outclassed. Their warriors took us apart like children. The elder lizardman sort of bristles at that one, but nods eventually.
Do they
Their
have magic
spell,
users? Sorry.
yes, their spellcasters were beyond anything we know. They controlled sharks that traveled with them. They are a mighty race.
And how would we recognize their spellcasters? And what kind of spells do they employ? Will they buff their allies? Will they basically do damaging spells? They summon basically monsters. What do they do?
I do not remember any summoning. We cannot tell you much more than that. We were routed pretty quickly. There are many varieties of them. It was hard to tell what was what. Their leaders seemed to have multiple arms. The more arms, the more powerful they seem to have been.
I see. And are there any other races that are allied with the Sahuagin, beside or are they alone?
They are alone.
Interesting. Is there anything that they're weak against that you know of? Wait, as in ways to fight them.
Orton looks at his fingernails. Fire always seems to do the trick.
Yes, but if we're underwater, will fire be as effective?
These are
They
the
just go
fires
out?
of Clangendon.
Yes. All right. Well, you shall find out one way or another.
They can't stay above the air long. Maybe a few hours at most. The one we had captured, it had to submerge every few hours or it would suffocate.
Can it breathe in the air?
For just a few hours.
Okay.
Mal,
Yeah,
when you do the fancy thing with the water, can you create basically a bubble of air beneath the water?
I certainly can.
That will be interesting.
But only about 5 feet or by 5, like, I don't know,
All right,
like your size.
just is good. Just enough to make them panic. That will be useful.
The
Yeah,
only
or
other thing
fall.
I could add is that when there is blood in the water, like the sharks that they so much love, they go into a bit of a frenzy.
What does this frenzy do to them?
They seem to focus on the ones that are wounded.
Might be a decent way to create a distraction.
Ooh. Oh,
Focus as in they might focus on allies as well, or?
No, not so much that. It gets them excited, more, if anything, more dangerous. But single-minded and going after the blood.
interesting. Orden, Orden, can any of your spells make the taste of blood in the water?
Oh, I don't know.
The answer is yes. Prestidigitation.
Well, why yes.
We may have some interesting tactics to employ, but we shall gather up weapons and see to our needs, and then we shall take off. Do we? Mal, is the crew ready to go?
Yeah, we really haven't unpacked anything.
And you were only like a 3-hour tour type of thing, so it's just a
Yeah.
little trip.
Orton pulls Nasir aside and says, on that note, I do have a brand new spell I've been working on that creates that lets me teleport out of a jam and creates a massive wave of destruction wherever I leave from. So I wonder if we could employ that to bring a group of them straight for me.
I mean,
I could survive a round or two of the attacks, and then kaboom once they're close enough.
that sounds very risky, but if you wish to employ it,
Aside from a straight out of character, aside from a straight crit, they'd have to. I don't even know if it's possible aside from a crit, unless they had a hell of an attack bonus.
so basically you basically learn Thunderstep, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I got that. So we would have to be how far away from you to make sure we were not hit as well?
Let me think on that a bit. I'm not right at my computer. 2 seconds.
It's 10 feet.
There you go. 10 feet.
I looked at the spell for my sorcerer. I don't know all this stuff off the top of my head. I just happen to remember this specific one. We can try. We will see. But did you say that you could take someone else with you?
Yes, that is true.
Perhaps you could hand deliver one of our fighters.
Well, it only gets us out of a jam.
I see. But not into the jam?
Well, I suppose I could teleport us both into somewhere, but the big wave of destruction, that's the whole point, will be back where it teleported from.
Which is fair. Does it work like the Misty Step?
That's a
You
good
can go
question.
whatever you can see?
James, and I think rules is written this is a no, but because it's 2 spells in 1 round, but Misty Step is a bonus action. So is there any way you could Misty Step in with a bonus action and then cast that spell to get back out? Or that would be 2 spells in 1 turn and thus...
What's the other spell? I think you're right, though. I think the 2 spells in 1 turn thing doesn't make it work. I have to go
Right.
look up the rules on that one, but I think, what is it, just 2 cantrips? Or
I think 1 has to be a cantrip if you do 2 spells in the same
Yeah.
turn.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah,
not. That's
we should
bummer.
probably, since you guys are overloaded magic items, we should probably follow the rules of the spells a little bit close.
Sure. You can still book in there and get out. There are ways. Anywho, let's get to it. At least get in and see if we can find the second entrance.
Yeah, Thunderstep is a place you can see within range. So basically, as long as you can see it, which means it could be through your familiar.
Ah, yeah.
Yep. Same wording as some Misty Step.
Are we good to go?
I think.
Is there any change in weapons that anyone needs? Any other equipment? Anything else we want to try and acquire? Do you want to see what's her face, the quartermaster has to offer before we go in terms of magic items?
I'm fairly curious about how we're going to get in, what kind of equipment we're going to use for that. Like, let's say, because I'm assuming that if we're not going into the top, I don't think there's just going to be a door
No,
underwater.
well, there are two inlets on the lower level that presumably will lead to the ocean at this point. So we can either go in the north or the south, if you look at the lower level map. So pretty much those are going to be your infiltration choices if you don't want to go in through the top.
Let's see. Well, there is one other option we could try.
Is there?
We could buy
Okay.
some mining equipment, potentially, and give that a shot.
And use it underwater.
Yeah.
To dig where?
I mean, I don't know how this base is constructed, I suppose, but I assume that it's possible to tunnel in, given that I assume that all of these are tunnels of some kind.
Gotcha. I have a feeling they're probably would be sensitive to the vibrations in the water enough to, if we were making any racket.
I don't know about that, but it definitely would take time. So the question is, do we think we'd have enough time before we were caught? Is the problem, because I'm assuming this is basically like the Sahuagin base, so basically getting caught by a bunch of them would be pretty bad, I'd assume.
But that, I mean, that's what they were talking about earlier in the meeting, that it wouldn't be too bad if we even just went in swinging. At least that's what I got from their.
What are they? What they're saying is that if we were spotted and caught, it wouldn't basically cause them to change their plans. They figured we were just raiders. He didn't say that basically we would get out alive. Difference.
Plus, if combat breaks out, we won't know what their time scale is.
Yeah, if they go on high alert to the point where basically the whole base is swarming and looking for us, at that point, basically we are on a very short time scale, basically finding out more information and then getting out before they find us and overwhelm us with numbers.
Mhm.
Don't worry, Rakir. Rappy can help us be really quiet for about an hour.
Rappy, stay on the boat.
I didn't hear that.
Can both of them stay on the boat?
Yeah, I think Rappy might
Busy.
need to go into the bag of holding just to make sure Rappy doesn't say anything when Rappy shouldn't.
So, obviously, step number 1, we have to find the other entrance. So we got to do some scouting. Step number 2, I think I and/or Nasir can turn the bulk of us, if not all of us, invisible. At least the ones that are not as stealthy as our little friend here. And then we try to get in quick, quiet, until we're can't be quick and quiet anymore. And then we get out as fast as possible. I think our target is what, to take a high-ranking hostage. I don't think we're going to be able to put eyes on the bulk of the base. I think that's probably our best bet.
Indeed. The best bet would be either to find some documentation, which I do not even know if that exists underwater, or perhaps to question someone who has the knowledge we can take.
Mal turns to the merfolk. Can you write underwater?
Yes.
How do you store your histories?
They have some method. I've never put thought into it before. It's a good question. They must have a method of some sort. So they can help you find a way of doing this if you want to draw a map or something. That is where you're going, I guess.
Yeah,
We'll say they have
Yeah,
they have some sort of tablet that works like an Etch-a-Sketch.
Nice.
We'll go with that. You just drag a fingernail over it and it makes it a color, and then you do something that makes it go away.
And Nasir spent time with him, but we'll spend time with the other guy trying to get a general area of where the entrance would be, and then so we at least know where to start. Sound like a plan to everybody?
Yep.
Sounds good.
Let's do it.
Okay. Well, at least let's get you to the front door of this place before our night is up. All right, I'm going to exit out of here. Did anybody... Oh, yeah, you added things. I'll just copy your characters back over again when I get over there.
Yeah, I made some changes.
Before we leave town, I would like to buy 2 more spears. The ones
Okay.
I lost.
Add them to your inventory and mark off the coin.
Yeah, because
So we haven't gained any money, right?
There's
I have.
tons in the coffers, but I don't know about if we actually figured out how much you were getting from the quartermaster yet. But I mean, the amount you're going to get is worth much more than anything you probably need to buy. So we can figure it out afterward. Just write down what you need.
actually,
Unless you're buying something crazy, like Mr. Plate. But
actually, so we divide up all the other stuff. Just give me 1 second, and I will get you money.
Mal's gonna leave Merrick's sword back at the townhouses.
okay.
Yeah, because if this entire base is underwater, I was thinking of buying either some oil or ink or something like that that could help us block sightlines in these tunnels.
Mm.
That could be useful. Hey, James, can we basically liquidate all the crap we have before we leave?
Yeah, you have time.
All right. The slag amulet was just basically just gold. How much was that worth? like in just raw.
I'm just trying to think of weight-wise.
Yeah, metal value.
I
50
can't
coins.
imagine. It's
50
probably a half a pound.
25 gold then.
Yeah.
50 coins is a pound.
Yeah, because it's not pretty anymore. So let's call it a full pound then. Gold's heavy.
All right. And there were ruby earrings, but you didn't say how much those were worth.
Oh, let's call them 100 each, so I don't have to look it up.
Okay. And decanters, was that plural or just one decanter?
The crystal decanters?
Yeah.
Let's say 6.
There's no additional, like, this is basically stuff that we did. There's no additional rewards or anything else besides the loot we got, correct?
Oh, that was coin from doing the actual mission too.
Oh, how much was that?
It was a few thousand. I'll have to.
I feel like it was something each of you will get blank, but
Hold on.
Oh yeah, that's from the university, right?
No,
That's
that
the
was from the city. For dealing with clearing out these guys and making the waterway safe again. The university was a side gig.
Okay, but the university also gave us money too, right? How much was that?
I don't know on that one. That way I have to go through all the magic items and stuff. We'll figure that out afterwards, so. Because
Okay,
I need to spend some time, because I don't remember what you all have, and we'll look up each item. And
okay, so can we just basically you'll tell us the value, I'll tell us how much gold we had, and we can just retroactively done all the shopping later.
Yes, exactly what I'm thinking.
Okay, all right. So I will get you guys how much money you got from that later.
Okay, and Isle of the Abbey. They were going to pay you $2,000 just to go there, explore, and clear out the threats.
a piece or together?
I think it was together. Yeah,
that's a lot.
That's a hell of a lot.
Yeah.
Amazing. 2,000 apiece.
So no, they gave you 2,000 gold to clear out the damage, the threats there. And by destroying the sources of all the animateds all died off anyways. So the dunes actually were completely empty when you walked back.
And that was from the town, right?
That was from Saltmarsh. Actually, it was from the Mariners Guild, but yeah.
All right, I've got the total in there for the undivided spoils. All we need is basically later James will give me the money we get from the academy, and then I'll tell everyone what shares they get. Typically, the way we've been doing it is we've been basically splitting everything up, where everyone gets one share, and the party fund gets another share. So we'll split everything up 7 ways. And then, as you've seen, we just kind of like divide the magic items by sort of, basically spitballing and figuring out who would go to who the best one for each item. All right, so I'm good.
Yeah, and aside from spellbooks, I cannot possibly imagine what Orden would find that would be better than what he's already attuned to.
That is true, unless it was a second one.
Right.
Mal will explain to Odo and Rakir that we've got about our mansion and the upkeep, and that's kind of why. And then we've got something else that we're working towards, trying to build some cannons for our ship.
The ship upkeep too, yeah.
Yep.
There's lots of money pits.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and FYI, for those of you that Staff of Power, it's been nerfed a little bit. It'll grow into it, which I think is plenty fair.
Where you basically only cast stuff that you have slots for.
Essentially, yeah. Minus the fireball.
We just divided the spells up among different levels. I like the way that Bass Mercer handles his big magic items, so I'm trying to move a lot of the bigger ones in this game to that way, where they grow with you.
Oh yeah, I do the same thing in my game, so I can give out cool stuff that they know will get even cooler as they gain levels.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I am super thrilled with how it shook out, man. Even with far less abilities, this staff is just it's insane. Cannot imagine a better magic item.
I don't know. Staff Bird calls is pretty sweet.
Yeah, I mean, can the staff of power make goose sounds? I think not.
Yeah, I don't think so.
So it takes about a day of sailing to get near this island area. About dusk, because I guess it could be about dusk. By the next morning. By the next morning, then they're docked a bit off. Not docked, but they have thrown some sort of an anchor down off the shore a bit. And you're probably going to want to take the rowboats in or take one of the ships in, not the whole sailing vessel into that island, since you're going stealthy or whatever. But you can see the structure sticking up out of the water off in the distance. I'll post a picture of it. It's just the tip now of the island that pokes out. You sort of can make out what might be a pathway along it that works its way up along the side and goes in one of those holes.
Oh, so like, actually, a significant portion of it is still above water. Do we actually see that little? Is that like a bridge there, like a rope bridge?
Yeah, I know. I love when they stick pictures in the modules and they have nothing that has nothing to do with the map. It's like some artist rendition.
Okay, fair enough.
So,
So from
I'm
this,
looking at it going, you're right. There's a rope bridge there, but I don't know.
so from this can we surmise that the upper level is entirely above water, and that it's the middle and lower levels are actually the ones that are submerged?
Yes. So it's a rocky island. It's just off the mouth of the Javan River, which you recognize also as the name of that river that you could travel up to go after those other folks who went treasure hunting in this swamp. The Javan River there is beyond it. The wood lizard folks used to lair here, but it was a peninsula at that point.
All right, so
I
we're
think I'm on the wrong map. I'm looking at Saltmarsh. So.
Yeah, I know. I haven't put anything up yet.
Oh, okay.
I got no map for this picture. I just posted in the Discord.
all right.
Gotcha.
So I assume the general strategy is going to be to get as close as we comfortably can based on the intelligence we have, and then sort of bail over and then start basically, I guess, stealth swimming. Otherwise, I'd say we probably would have gotten some advice from the lizard folk as how to do that, since we aren't really familiar with how to do like underwater ops. The best way is to kind of basically like stealthily approach the place, from underwater.
Well, in the world that this D&D is in, you could drop to the floor and walk across the ocean if you can breathe underwater.
Well, I mean, yeah,
Or
we could
we'll
have.
have water breathing on everybody at all times. It lasts 24 hours.
Yeah.
So it's visual.
Yeah, I guess I'm just saying basically because we're not used to basically doing like actually that's a good question. Let's just ask Rick here, since he'd actually be familiar with this. How do we do this?
With what?
Basically, how do you sneak in 3D?
Can you sneak in 3D?
Yeah, because your character's a sea elf, right?
No.
Oh.
No. I had I think I had mentioned this, but I don't know if I mentioned it loud enough. I'm a high elf. I have a thing of I have the cloak of the manta ray. It allows me to do that stuff.
Oh, I
Okay.
thought you were half sea elf too.
Yeah. Whoops. All right. Then I guess we would have basically like just hit up the merfolk and the lizard folk to find out basically, how do we sneak effectively? Like what will be the least likely way for us to get caught? Because we have no idea basically how the Sahuagin patrols would work down here in like a 3-dimensional environment.
So they can give you ideas. I don't know either, but they can give you some ideas and transfer some ideas of how to At least you won't be traveling at a disadvantage trying to be stealthy getting up to this place.
So they gave us some ideas, and we use those ideas. Okay, done.
So how do you want to approach this thing? You can, as you we're gonna rowboat up to it or swim underwater to it, or
I mean, there's some assumptions basically that they would definitely be looking for a rowboat. So we probably want to basically use use whatever methodology the lizard folk recommended to basically to sort of swim in innocuously.
well, not the lizard folks, but probably the other folks, Locantha or something else. But yeah,
However they say would be the best place, we take their advice and then basically attempt, I guess, to stealth in.
they think your best bet would probably follow along the ocean bottom because at least there's cover.
Okay, yeah. Is there any kind of like local beasties we need to watch out for on the way? Anything we need to do basically to keep the sharks off of us?
Be meaner than them. That's about it. They're not going to mess with you unless they're hungry or someone sent them. You guys are scarier than the sea fish that are in the water.
Look at my red glowing eyes.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. So I guess we'll just basically do our best to remain unnoticed. And do we want to go in the north or the south?
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but Mel, can't your God's cursed fucking friend, no offense, okay, offense, make us all quiet? Mel?
I have some spells that help with.
Sorry, I had to go AFK. I'm back.
I mean, on the plus side, you probably won't clank as much underwater.
I can make you guys quiet, but it only lasts about an hour. Well, Rappy can, not me.
Once we're close, I think that's about all we'll need, especially if we double that with, I can make 4 of us invisible. I'm not sure about Nasir, but that's the max I can do.
1. I can make myself invisible.
I can also make us stealthier for an hour.
Ah, excellent.
Ooh.
So we can have 2 hours of that will make it much less likely to be seen.
Absolutely. So
And I'm not very sneaky. I'm simply just not bad at it like you.
Fair.
Hey, I could be invisible too. I can cast that too if someone else needs it.
I bet you Odo's pretty stealthy, or no?
I am when I take off this shiny new armor. I'll go back to the breastplate for this.
I mean, James, like being underwater, would that help with the disadvantage on stealthing at all with the armor?
That's a good question. I don't know on that one, especially since D&D doesn't actually cover anything like that.
That's very true.
Also, they're going to have some issues with being encumbered or at moving in difficult terrain unless you have some way to help you out through that.
Yeah.
Swim
You move
speed.
at half speed, I think.
Yep. Yep. Everything's difficult terrain unless you have a swim speed.
So
One
with
of the
us
tier
being
6
invisible, that would give us advantage, though. So that should counteract the disadvantage by the heavy armor. So it's a straight roll plus the advantages that we get from Rappy and/or Odo making us quiet.
Yeah, and Nasir will have no problem with swim speed. So
I can't. No, I couldn't with concentration. So I got to concentrate on the invisibility.
when you cast invisibility at a higher level, do you get more people?
Yep. But
Oh,
even
shit.
casting it at 4th, I can only get 4 people.
Oh shit! I could actually do that. Yeah, I can cast it at 4th as well.
Well, and even better, then I don't have to burn a 4th level slot. You're going to have to burn one regardless if you do it. So
I don't
you cast it on 4.
not necessarily. I get an automatic like 2nd level one every day, but yeah, me casting it's probably much better than you. So yeah, so I can cast it and get 4 of us, and then basically if who how,
the other 2.
Okay. Well, if you and Mal each load up your rings with an invisibility each, then you can each get yourselves.
I can get myself.
Yeah, and that way you don't use any personal spell slots to remain flexible if you use your rings for that.
I'd rather use the second level slot and keep the shields. That's my backup. I mean, if we're just casting it at second, you know.
All right, so basically, so we get I think invisibility lasts an hour, right?
Yes.
I believe. All right, so I guess when we're traveling, does traveling count as a short rest or no? I don't think so.
You mean traveling down to this location over a day?
Well, basically just basically just traveling underwater without doing anything more strenuous.
Oh no, I don't think so.
Okay, so you guys would both have to cast invisibility twice. I could cast it twice. That means by the time that we get to wherever we're going, that means I'm going to be completely out of spell slots until I rest again. And then basically we'd have Odo would cast Pass Without Trace, and then the Rapier would cast Pass Without
Rapier.
Trace. Yes, that one. So last 2 hours. Last 2 hours, we'd have a really good shot of getting in without being seen. We just need to make sure that nothing happens before those 2 hours. And then once we get inside this place, if at all possible, I would like to basically take a rest, so I'm not basically semi-useless inside.
So I thought I was doing this in 2 stages. One, we recon, we try to find the entrance, and then we come back. And then the next day we go and we enter the entrance. I don't know if we've got that kind of time though, and I don't know if James is cool with some rolls. I mean, figuring out how that all works.
Yeah, we definitely would need to actually figure out where the entrance is.
Well, from the ship that you can see, you can actually, well, I guess Mal could, because with his crazy perception level in his helmet, can see that there is a shoreline area and the glint of some sort of metal or something there, of maybe a door on a little beach.
Boom. That's it.
That's the one that's above water.
Are you cool with us that we found that and we're able to take a little break before we enter into it?
You can see that from the ship.
Perfect. Let's do it to it.
Now, if you want to find ones underwater, that's a whole different matter. But that's the one above water.
We can see it. I say we still go in stealthy like, especially since we can see it. We know that we can get there within the hour. Does that work? And then Nasir, you're still left with 1 slot.
I can make do.
So yeah, the rocky outcropping, it's about 200. I would say about 500 feet in diameter. That thing that sticks up out of the water, separated from the shore for about 200 feet. So it's not too far off the shore.
We're not seeing the door in that thing though, right? We're looking for the back door.
Yeah. Well, you said we can see what's most likely the upper entrance, but yeah, that's not the one we want to use.
Oh, sorry.
Yes.
So if we could all fly, we might be able to go top down, but I still wouldn't recommend that because that'd be pretty exposed.
Let's just creep as close as we can and use. I don't want to use all of our spells. I mean, this year that's pretty important to you.
Again, if I rest, I will get them back.
Getting up there unseen is pretty important too.
Indeed.
And I'm fine to cast mine, but Nasir's going to have to cast it out of character at 4th level no matter what he casts. He's a warlock and he has to. So if he casts 1 invisibility, he'll hit everybody, or 4 people.
Well, isn't it 3 people?
4, if you do it at 4th. It's a 2nd level spell, and it has 1 additional for each slot above the 4th, or the 2nd.
Yes, so it's 1 person, then at 3rd it'd be a 2nd person, and then at 4th it'd be a 3rd person, right?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. No. Can't you cast it on 2? Or is it just a self?
Just self. Just 1 person for the 2nd level.
Sorry.
Yeah, I was wondering about that. So I can get 3 people.
And I can get the other 3.
Okay, so we got that covered. So we're going to usually use a little bit of power just to make sure we can actually get there unseen, which will definitely be worth it.
Yeah, for sure. I'm down for that. So we're all invisible.
So how long have you guys been hanging off shore here? Staring at this thing.
We definitely wouldn't have stood there dumbly if we would have seen it, we would have stayed at a crazy distance and or backed up, I would say.
Okay.
Like as soon as we got to the site, I would say we would have had the ritual cast to water breathe. Then we would have
Yep.
bailed off, got down deep and hidden, and then been discussing this in secret. And then we would have
Perfect.
basically we would have basically made sure the captain had the instructions on how to use the ascending stone, so they know they can only use it once a day. And if they absolutely get in trouble and they need to let us know a message, they can send us one message a day. We can basically, but if that's the case, then we can't send them a message that day, and vice versa.
So
If we send them,
someone describe me how you're getting to this place, and then we'll start from there. We'll go from that.
Entering on the ocean floor as close to the second entrance that was described to us as we could get.
we want
Okay,
the
and you're using your invisibility.
yeah, we'll do
Invisibility and water breathing. Yep.
yep, and pass without trace. And do we want to actually go in the? Or do you want to basically look for the north or the south entrance first?
Either. Just not the main one, I think.
Are we north or south of the spire?
You are west of the spire.
You would say that, wouldn't you?
You can pick
Alright.
either way if you want. But...
All right, all right, south one first.
Okay.
Let me make sure Mel's out front with his helmet on.
And
No, wait, actually, I take that back. North first, because north is actually closer. North is actually a little bit closer to the two stairways that lead up. So that's going to be ultimately the way we're going to go. We have to go through the entire lower level if we go to the south first. So north would be actually better.
Fair.
All
Good
right.
deal.
James, this is the old Mal and the old Sam, or a bag of holding.
Oh, is it? Oh, I haven't copied everybody over yet. Oh, I'll do it between. We're not going to actually have anything tonight. 'Cause it's almost 9 o'clock.
Okay.
I'll copy it over in a moment. At least I'll read you the entrance, and we'll go from there.
So, by the way, before we actually had done all this, basically when we're getting close enough to actually see the spire in the distance, then I would have death warded myself and Orden.
Thank you.
So that would be up for 8 hours. Well, 7 hours by the time we actually start this all.
Okay. So as you move closer to the island, you can see them below. The island sort of spreads out. It's much larger at the bottom levels of the ocean. There's not much traffic you can see. You did see one patrol that you easily were able to avoid, which swam by. It was a patrol of about 12 Sahuagin. They had different shapes and forms. You can't make out the difference of them right at this point. But they seem to be of different size, maybe a commander of some sort and some soldiers who are just circling the island. Let me move to the third map.
Well,
Now
we know
you-
there's at least 12.
Yes. Moving
And
along the bottom levels, so go ahead.
Did like the, I guess the commander or the one who we think is in charge, did he have multiple arms?
No. He just
Okay.
looked bigger than the others. So as you move along towards this, you can see as you get closer to, there is an area. There's some of sand that's been moved away, and the area looks been prepared, as in it's been carved, and it looks to be somewhat of a door that's pretty easy to spot down here. That's made of stone, that's been polished and prepared. It looks like it may work on some sort of hinge system or something, and it's up against the rocks there at the base of this thing.
Do you have a knock spell? That will let everybody within whatever is hearing distance. I don't know how water impacts that, but
You've got a Mal.
We can break the entrance.
Orton's like, what? We use you as a battering ram? Oh, that's right. You can pick locks.
Is it actually a lock? Is it a lock to pick? That's right. We can breathe water, but we can't necessarily talk very well underwater.
Moving closer, you don't see anything that looks like a lock, and in fact, as you get closer, you think that the thing may actually just be leaned up against it.
These are some beefy guys. We might have some work for our friend the Dragonborn and Riker McArmorface.
All right.
Right, sorry. So it's Thorin, Rick here.
Yes.
Rick
You are
here.
up.
All right.
I'll take the. How do you want to go about this? Just left and right?
Seems the best way.
Right. I'll grab the onto the right side of whatever this thing is, and
Don't grab the left. You want us both to roll, or is one roll with advantage?
I like the advantage idea.
Mal, you checked this for traps, right?
I'll let you roll for it.
Hey,
Matt will check
can
it.
Athletics
I will
or
quick examine.
we get a Clangadin's blessing for this?
Guide him.
do you want me to roll a straight check or athletics?
Gordon says, "Hold on. Let's let Mal take a look to make sure we're not all gonna blow up."
Do I see any traps or strings or anything that might otherwise hurt us?
Tell me what to roll is. I'm moving character sheets over, so I don't want to
Oh, okay.
change screens.
Let me bring it up.
Remember, you're guided too.
Get
D4 on
everybody?
that.
I forget.
Put that on there.
Orden, you have comprehend languages, right?
That's it.
Yes.
16.
The bag. I need a bag of holding. It is not trapped.
All
In fact, by
clear.
looking at it, you can tell that someone may have dropped this down here. It doesn't actually match the stonework next to it. The stonework next to it is a lot more rough, and this door is maybe someone's going to put it in later.
We're mid-construction.
Exact.
All right. Well, not 20.
Nice. So yes, it moves aside easily enough. It seems to have been made to be moved. It's not that insanely heavy, and you're able to pull it out of the way. Behind it is a old passageway that's sort of falling apart a bit. It's carved out of the rough rock. It's not very polished. Small chamber just inside, and I'm going to drop some tokens on the map now.
Gordon says, "Let's get inside and shut it behind us."
See. Oop, everybody just disappeared. What just happened?
I'm still on the Saltmarsh map.
Okay. And,
Yeah, me too.
I'm not sure what just happened. Oh, I was dropping tokens, and I dropped Orden, and all the other tokens disappeared. But
Uh-oh.
It's all my fault.
All right.
I
So
like to
just to be
make
clear,
arrangements.
we basically we're doing basically both. We're doing 2 hours of stealthing and invisibility, right?
Start with 1 and go into 2 if we have to.
All right. Well, you said we were actually at the gate, right? So
where are you?
we made it up to the entrance.
Yes.
Okay, so we were able to get there in with 1 hour of stealthing, or what?
I think I know what happened. I think I dropped everybody onto some back layer somewhere. It doesn't take more than an hour getting there.
Okay.
I'll just do it again. Hell with it. I should probably be like behind a map layer or something.
You know what? Nisir checks his pockets and he's like, "Oh, that is unfortunate.
There.
what's wrong?
Apparently, spiders do not breathe water. Oh well, not be casting that spell today."
So
Matt will hand the seer a vial. He's like, maybe next time we go in the water, you can put him in here.
Yes, yes, yes.
So where would you like? Do you want to head in? Do you want to?
Yes. Get inside and shut the door behind us.
Okay, we hit our hour time. Does anybody have any hard stops about now?
I can go for a little bit longer.
Okay.
I'll be willing to do maybe another half hour.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Alright.
Perfect.
All I see is black too.
Yeah, I think black as well.
Also, I don't think my
very top of the
Yeah.
map.
I don't think my sheet is assigned to me right now. I can't see my own character sheet.
Oh, that's annoying. Let's see if this token. I don't think they like being copied back and forth as much as I thought they would that.
A little grumpy.
Yep, it disappeared again.
We should, I think what we were doing before, it's probably a good idea, is make adventure the primary, always. Make
Yeah.
sure that one's up to speed and then copy it over to the
Especially since there's an issue copying things back and forth.
All right, so I've used invisibility. No, I haven't. Wait.
I'm adrift in a sea of black.
Do you have
And
any
we'll see.
night vision?
I would, because I would have used the circlet to basically be a sea elf.
Okay, let's see if that's what the issue is.
Yeah, I've got the mask on.
Anything yet?
No.
Oh, it looks like this. Okay, it looks like they went and updated me to dynamic lighting. So
Uh-huh.
let me save that. I have to double check these tokens. That's lovely. Now, what do you have? You have night vision because you're wearing the helmet.
I have true sight.
Yeah. That. What is? Yeah, I think it's like 120.
120. Yep. Ah, there we are.
Orden will take out his staff of power. Reverently.
How is Thorn gonna see?
No clue on that one.
He has a torch right now, but I don't think that's gonna work so well down here.
Yeah, I have a hooded lantern, but I don't think that would work either.
Yeah, I mean, I could always basically loan him Willie's light, but that won't work if you want to actually be sneaky.
What I can do.
We'll guide him by the hand.
Yeah, that's gonna be real fun and dark and fighting too.
Well, once we get into there, I'm sure someone can toss out like a light spell or something equivalent. Nothing else I can have
Rakir,
Willie light up.
and Rakir, you have night vision because you're an elf,
Yes.
half elf,
Yes. No, not a half elf. I'm a high elf.
high elf. Oh, okay. Oh, why do I think you're half?
I don't have a dark vision spell.
No,
Someone needs to help out Thorn. He's the
Sorry,
only one
I'm-
that can't see in the dark at all.
I don't think color spray is going to work.
Sorry, I misspoke. I mean, I'm a half high elf.
Gotcha.
So does anyone have a light spell?
We have a scroll.
We do?
Yeah, like,
Oh no,
we do.
that's
do.
oh no,
We
that's
do.
right. We just basically you can drink the what do you call it? Drink the,
I got
the
finger.
the finger potion.
yeah, the finger potion.
Finger. That's right.
Okay, so we'll say you've already done that. I imagine you would have thought of that as you went into the water.
We do have a
Do that.
spell scroll of light if we need it.
Wait, do those potions we picked up? They give you the ability to see underwater as well.
No, we have our Merrick before he left. He found a jug of potion that makes your finger glow. That's all we know.
Oh, okay.
How long?
If you're lucky.
How
If
long
you're
does
lucky.
light last? The spell.
I thought it was like a full day.
Yeah.
Well, why don't we could use the scroll to cast light on the blade of your sword. That way you can kind of pull it out a little bit for a little bit of light, or when you draw it to fight, you got it.
I'd be down with that.
Oh, it's 1 hour. Take that back. I just looked it up.
Yeah,
Okay, is anybody able to see the map now?
Yes. I mean,
Thorn?
Yes. Yes, sir, I can.
Okay, coolness.
No.
No,
I'll-
we got one left.
Oh wait, nope.
For
There we go.
Odo.
I can see it.
Odo. Oh, really? You're the one with the night vision. Night vision.
I have
Set to night. Doesn't emit token.
Need to find something to counteract that, not be able to see in the dark.
Why would that not work?
It's working.
Okay, sweet.
I could have put a continual flame on the blade of your sword.
Maybe
It's
next
not
downtime we
right
can.
now. Yeah.
Yeah, because now that you're the only one, it's going to be a problem.
Yeah.
Very good. Where were we? Okay, after all that. It will definitely, before we quit here, I will go through and reassign everybody's token to themselves, make sure I have the good one set.
Mind if I pull a Gary out?
Please.
Thank you.
Now,
Thank
if he can be able to see, we'll see.
Can he move underwater very well?
you.
Good
Oh
point.
shit! Could
Yeah.
I? That's right. Could I, knowing that, could I switch his form?
I mean,
You would
yeah,
have to spend time
he could have done
and
it on the.
money
He
on
could.
the
He,
boat.
Couldn't.
he could do it on the boat, and I could actually loan
Right.
him the components because I have some.
Okay.
If you don't.
Yes. So do you want to have a little fish?
I believe isn't octopus one of the?
I think it's Quipper.
Basically a piranha, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. If that is what it is, I swear there was a little.
And Mal, what do you want to do? That's why I have
Yeah,
a frog by the
octopus.
Is there an
Octopus.
octopus in there?
Yep.
Um,
Underwater camouflage and water breathing. Nothing.
I didn't
special.
think about it. So we'll have Flappy stay up there.
In
Or
the,
I'm sorry,
in the portal in
can.
the other world.
Yeah. Or
On the
Oilcan's
ship.
gonna stay up there. Yeah. He'll make sure that everything's straight on the ship.
He can do an ink cloud, because that's not an attack. It's one of his an octopus ability, so that's fun.
Okay, well let's march in here. We've got a few minutes left.
Can dash as a bonus action. That's fun.
All right. Man will do some inspection and look around and sneak in.
So at the inside, this room doesn't look like it gets used. It looks very, I mean, it almost looks more like, it reminds you a lot more of what the lizardmen had back in the cave that you visited before. It has the same type of work being done in it. So maybe they haven't advanced this one, or it's a back door type of thing or something.
Okay.
There's just a large room here as you step in, which has a few beds in it that are floating near the ceiling made of wood.
Wonder how they use those.
They look like they're falling apart and broken, like maybe they belong to the lizardmen.
Yeah, probably don't.
There's some other refuse floating around. And
All
a
right.
tunnel going forward.
He'll keep
Get
creeping
inside.
and looking for traps.
Thorin, pull that door shut behind us.
All right. Don't want to wait until everyone gets in and then slide that door back.
Now, I cast the Pass Without Trace for the first hour. I don't know if we're going to do something quiet for the second hour.
Are we
Now that
into
you're
the second
inside.
yet?
Yeah.
Took you an hour to get here.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
I
do we
have-
want to continue invisible or just with Pass Without Trace?
So, blah, 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 blah.
I thought, Odo, did you have a way to make this quiet?
Yeah, I can take the second hour of Pass Without Trace.
And
Invisibility will end.
this here indicates that basically if you're not gonna rest, then basically going invisible again is going to leave him tapped for spells.
Well, why don't we hang out here?
I can do. No, I can't do 3 more people.
Yeah, because basically getting the entire party is I can get mine back, but it's going to continually drain all of Warden's spells.
He says, well, I'll lose my invisibility, but that's okay.
Nasir's opinion would be basically that if we want to basically do this efficiently, we would basically send Mal we can make Mal invisible, have him scout, and then we can follow after. It's not fun, but that'd be the way to do it without basically sucking away all of our resources, trying to move everyone as a unit, invisible all the time. Or we can just do pass without trace and call that good. But again, that's also draining other people's resources. So
Pass without trace is nice either way in when we move, but I'll absolutely cast invisibility on Mal right now.
Well, he's
Okay.
already got it right now. If we take a rest, he's going to lose it. That's what I was saying.
No,
Because he cast.
we're after an hour, so that.
Oh, after the rest? Okay.
yeah, if we're done with that, then basically Mal's going to scout. Then Nasir will cast it because he gets one free one a day because of one of his feats. So that won't cost him a slot.
Okay.
I'm
So,
fine with a second level slot to cast it just on Mal. Let me do that. You keep the other one.
I mean, this slot is not going to do anything but cast invisibility ever. So there's really no reason not to use it.
Okay.
That's my
All right,
that's my
Baker
point.
sins.
No bickering at all.
No, Mal's just joking.
Yeah, because I can't cast Scorching Ray with mine, but you can with
Right.
yours.
Fair point.
All right.
Do we? No, never mind.
He'll continue to explore.
All right, so do we want to all kind of basically go in behind him because pass without trace only has a certain radius, right?
Within 30 feet.
Yeah. So we could all kind of move his unit behind Mal, sort of silently while he does his thing, because he doesn't really need the pass without trace to be good at this. So we can at least stay somewhat close if we want to expend that. Do we want to do that?
Well, if Odo's casting it, he stays within 30 feet of Mal, and we stay within 30 feet of Odo, if not closer.
Is it
Sounds
30
like a plan
radius
to
or
me.
30? What's the distance on it?
Radius.
It is.
Oh, okay, cool. So yeah,
Yeah.
Mal could be 30 ahead, and you guys could be 30 behind, and he's in the middle if you needed to. Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. Okay. Here I go.
But there wouldn't have to be lamination, would there?
Lamination?
In this, yeah. Or guess we'll have to just memorize the map because that map isn't going to survive.
Oh, yeah, sure. Good point. I'm like, what are you talking about?
All right, Mal's gonna move 30 feet up, and then Odo is behind him.
That one. Okay.
He'll keep looking down the hallway.
Trying to find one without the weird new age music over the top of it.
Back to the massage parlor, huh?
Yeah. Well, luckily, if you join the Patreon for the guy that does tabletop audio, he sends you both.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's only $1 a month too.
Nice. Those do add up, though. I've realized.
Yeah, when you have like 20 or 30 of them, yeah, it's
Yeah.
music. Okay, yeah, nothing happens at that point. Go ahead and continue.
Okay.
Hey James, if you wouldn't mind, trying to loop Thorn in one of them. I'm having a lot of connection problems at the moment, so I can't see anything.
Oh, well, there's nothing really to see. It's a big 10-foot tunnel that snakes forward. Don't worry about it between. You're having problems with your glowing finger.
Keeps going out.
Poof.
How did he get this thing to fucking work?
I'll come up to the edge here and peek around.
So you get down to the end there. There is another door of sorts there. Hold on a second. Map. Change the GM thing so I can actually see them faded out. 50, that's what that is. This is fun because you guys are coming in the back, so I'm having to start the module from the very back and work our way forward. It's like, oh, damn.
It is the job of the players to make
Yes.
DM's life more difficult.
That's right.
Right.
So at this area, you've come to another part where there's a big stone blocking the entrance.
Uh-oh. Is there any way to get around it?
You might be able to wiggle by it, but there's no way in the world everybody else is.
Should we? Did you want us to see that?
You will eventually in a moment. He can see it anyways. They didn't put a line there, and it's their module, so it must not be too secret.
He'll swim back. So he doesn't think anyone else can get past it?
Not at this point. It's going to take some effort to try to move that thing.
Alright, there's a big old boulder in the middle of our path.
Orden beckons Rakir back. Let our silent guy go first.
So there's a big old boulder in the middle of the path. I can probably get through, but I don't think anyone else will.
Can the boulder be moved by our beef back here?
Yeah, I think so. It just will take a little bit. Says I'll go check and see what's in there. See if I can peek through there. If how far this thing keeps going. This place seems to be falling apart.
So as you get to this thing, you can, peeking over the top of it, you can see that there is a large sea eel in there that's dead. It's battered itself against the walls, it looks like. Its head smashed in like it was trying to get out and wasn't able to fit through, and has died in this room.
Okay.
It's
Let's
a
not get trapped in
little
there.
15 by 15 room with the door on the other side.
He'll go back and report that to everybody. There's a dead eel. Looks like he smashed his head.
I mean, the eel's so big that it pretty much fills the entire room.
A big dead eel.
That's our only way forward, huh?
That's all I've seen.
Well, then there's no time to waste.
Agreed.
I'll attempt to push this boulder out of the way.
So you have advantage on it.
The boulder doesn't look like it was part of a trap or something, like an eel trap, was it?
Cast
Mm-mm.
guidance.
Okay.
So it looks like that they just wanted to block off the entrance. And just dropped a big old rock in the way.
Is there anything that you want me to roll?
Easiest way to do it.
To what? I'm sorry?
To push this boulder?
Yeah, just strength rolls again.
Athletics or strength? Just normal strength.
Where's... Oh, there's... Okay, he's back.
Was it athletics or normal strength?
Probably normal strength.
All right.
It's not like there's any finesse in this. That'll do it. So yes, you're able to push this thing. You get it moving a little bit, and it rolls forward and sort of slams down to the ground, squishes parts of the dead eel. The room fills up with a bit with some more ichor and guts floating around. It's like a messy fish aquarium.
Ew.
Bleh.
Eric here.
Yes.
I think there's a door down here. Let me look at it. Now I'll check it out.
There's the door.
You look trapped at all?
No, and it doesn't even look locked.
Okay.
But
Mal
it's hard to
turn
tell
around,
from the inside.
put his finger to his mouth. Shh.
As we're all crowded behind him, I love it.
And he'll slowly. Is the door open inward or outward?
Inward.
He'll slowly peek it open just a little bit and peek in.
Okay, go ahead and make your stealth roll with advantage because of the or plus 10 with the pass out without trace.
Yeah. 35.
All right, that'll work. So yes, you open the door quietly. It takes some work to move it because the eel is blocking so much of it, but you're able to at least get enough to peek in. Let me just move it out of the way. You can see. Weird, the hotkeys aren't well tonight.
He'll slowly close the door.
In there are 3 large Sahuagin, and it looks like they might be torturing one of those Lakuthas that you met, the fish-looking guys. Oh no, actually, no, you didn't meet one of these. What are these guys? This is a. None of the hotkeys are working. That's lovely. What is this guy? Lokatha. Okay. It looks like almost like a catfish.
There's 3 hooligan in there, and they're either having catfish dinner or they're beating up one of our friends.
He whispers to Rakir, who relays it to Odo, who relays it to Thorin.
Yeah.
Luckily, there's this spell going on.
There's a die.
Somebody's eating fried chicken, I think. I don't know.
But there's 3 of them in there. He'll slowly swim back over here.
Can
You
we?
guys want to
We have to go past them.
sneak past them? They're right in the middle of the room, pretty
No.
much.
We have to go past them. If we cannot sneak, we must take them out and go quickly.
I think that might be the best bet.
That would be the only way. Either that or we turn around and go out to the south.
What do you guys think? Rick here? Thorin, can you take him?
Let me see. Hold on.
How fast can you move?
Depends on how far away they are.
Out of character, both of us, if we both hit the mana ray, we can move 60 feet.
Yeah, I have that too. So yeah, we can move 60 feet right now.
James, a question too. So if we have a swimming speed, like a movement, like are our attacks a disadvantage still, or do we like we're regular?
Regular
Nope,
from
you
what
could
I've
add on it, but you have no disadvantages because of once you have a swim speed, you might as well be above
Alright.
water.
All
Oh,
right.
I lost. Oh, hold on. The drop rate on our thing. I missed everything. Our ping rate suddenly jumped up to 2,800. I lost everything. I
Dang.
heard something about the swim rate. What were you saying there, Thorin?
Oh, I was asking if you can attack underwater if you have swim speed without disadvantage, but they answered it for me.
Yes. I missed all that, but yes.
All right.
Then, how strong do you think these guys are? Each one of them.
I don't remember. We managed to take out a couple before.
You didn't
How
take
fast?
anything out this big as these guys.
They're probably like 2 or 3 of the ones we took out before.
Well, I don't think we'll be able to take them out that quickly then.
And we're
They
not
probably
getting past unless we're invisible. But we still have a door to get through, and I don't know what's behind the side over here.
Nasir, do you have silence?
Nasir shakes his head.
Somehow I don't either. I'm not sure how, but I don't. So my familiar can make an ink cloud. I don't know if that's I don't know if that's gonna help us much, but
Wouldn't that make us blind too?
exactly.
What are we trying to do? Perhaps I can think of something.
Trying to
Take 'em
figure out how to take
quickly,
these guys out
quietly.
quickly. Yes.
Quietly? I do not think there will be a way. Quickly,
3 big hooligans.
I
yes,
can.
hooligans.
Orden
We can-
says I can take one. I'm sure of it.
You don't
Trust me.
suppose we could make a small noise of some kind, lure them into this room.
As long as none of the other 2 go, or as long as they all come. I mean, if one goes to
Oh, we
stays
can put
back,
we can put a touch of blood scent in the water and get them around the corner, but quick. I don't know
That
how
sounds-
sensitive they are.
If we can get the doors closed, it'll probably muffle some of the sounds of us, going.
Actually, I do have a spell which may minimize the fighting. I can perhaps disable them all, or at least most of them. We'll only have to fight them one at a time. Perhaps those who are disabled we can tie up instead of fight.
That would actually be optimal.
It may or may not work, but we will see when I cast it, yes?
Sounds good.
Right, but
Thorn, wait with me. We'll rush in once he
Well,
casts.
are we bringing them in here? I feel like that's a good idea. The further away from wherever they're at, we can get them. Probably the
good.
better.
Yeah, actually, since we can swim, we can basically do what Mal does, right? And just sit on the ceiling.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's all
we
three
can all
of you.
move in any direction.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how high is the ceiling? Because we can just sit
This
up
is
here.
cell. It's only 10 feet.
Okay.
He
But
said
You guys, sorry.
they still probably won't be looking directly up when they walk in.
Well, what I saw was there's a door on the opposite of where we are, pretty much.
Actually,
don't-
it looks like a door, but it's actually just a portal,
Oh,
a archway.
Okay, an opening. Okay.
Yeah, it's an odd art piece.
He says there's an odd art piece across the hall from us. It's kind of an arch kind of thing. So if we can get all three, that'd be great. But we have to make sure cut that exit off from them.
Yes, agreed. I think if we put a scent of blood in the water, from what we've heard, they're all three going to be compelled to come around that corner and quick. If I'm standing back here and I put just the faintest hint, even just to
Oh.
give them a whiff, so it doesn't get any further than them,
They were
they'll
talking
come
about
in.
the sharks, Odin.
The Sahuagin can smell blood too, from what they were saying. It puts them into like a frenzy where
Okay, I didn't hear that part.
bloodlust.
All right.
So that would bring them in. I guarantee you I can take one of them out, or mostly, really quickly.
Thorn was pretty positive between him and Rakir. They could probably at least take at least one or two of them out.
So
Thorn, you want to target the same one?
That'd probably be most efficient.
So,
Alright.
question: do you wish me to attempt to incapacitate them or no?
We'll attempt to take out one of them, and the other two you incapacitate.
Well, here's the thing: I'll cast a spell. Perhaps all of them will be incapacitated. Perhaps none. But if any of them basically just stand there and look goofy, do not attack.
Got it.
Any that react normally, take them out.
So I will release the scent as soon as they're around the corner. Nasir will cast the spell. We will hit the ones that look oriented.
Indeed.
Good plan.
Okay, I won't even bother with the initiative then of this first round. Go ahead and do what you want to do.
Once everyone is where they want to be.
Mal's gonna hang out over here and try and hide.
Orden will use prestidigitation to, right in front of where he is now, just give the slightest hint of blood odor. If they don't respond to that, he'll get just a little bit more, and a little more, until they come around the corner. But just incrementally. He doesn't want the scent to get too much further, any further than it has to.
Okay, so, and where are you casting the scent at? I'm sorry.
Right in front of where he's at, so like right
Where
there.
are you? Oh, I didn't have the map high enough. Gotcha. So Thorin, or actually, Pook is up front.
Thorin and Rakir.
Rakir's in a wall. I'm gonna move Rakir over
Oh.
a little bit. So Rakir, where you're at, you're the only one that can actually see a straight shot, it looks like, at them.
Mm-hmm.
You can see all three of them turn their heads this direction towards your area.
James,
And their eyes, yes, what?
so sorry. One sec, but if he's there in the doorway and there's not like a lip in front of him, I'm sure we would probably encourage him to, if he's
Where do you want to be, Rakir?
visible.
Let's see. Yeah. Am I? So they can still see me from here, right?
The door could be shut. It is a door. It's a double door too.
From here, am I just directly?
You're in the wall. That's just
yeah.
a bad walling. You shouldn't be able to be there.
Okay. Well, then yeah, I'll just be directly above here. Doesn't seem like a too bad of an idea.
Okay. So you can see them through the crack of the door. So as I was saying,
well,
that
I
all
want to be
three
like on the ceiling. So I don't know how high this goes, but yeah.
10 feet.
Are
So
the
you may
doors
not be
10
able to
feet
see
high?
anything then.
Yeah.
Okay. Orden, you do your
Sorry.
spell. How do you know anything's gonna happen or not?
Prestidigitation and just wait for them to come around the corner. I'm assuming since Rakir can see through the Crack, he'll give the thumbs up when he sees him.
Are you low enough
coming.
to see through the crack here, or are you above the door? Because there is a 2-foot difference from the ceiling
Yeah,
down
I
to the
would-
door.
As someone who is a part of the not stealthy club, I would like to. It's probably not best for me to give the thumbs up on that.
Fair enough.
I'll let Thorin peek around or something.
Then he'll just put the slightest hint of the scent out, and if after 15 seconds nothing happens, he'll do it again a little bit more and a little bit more until there's a response.
Okay, so who, if anybody, I'm lost on that. Who's actually can see out there then?
If it helps, Thorn will come over just a little bit. We'll wait till they come closer and then duck to the side.
Okay, so you still have your pass without trace though, so you can make a stealth roll at +10, Thorin.
What I like to hear. So, 22.
Okay. Right, you see the three of them, their heads turn towards the doorway. Their eyes dilate, opening up wide, and they all move pretty much as one, start heading this direction. The three large guys, the smallest of them has to be about a head taller than you are. They all carry spears, big two-handed type spears, have these large claws and these awful looking teeth. And they start moving your direction at a pretty brisk swimming speed as they start swimming along. You see the one creature that's left on the rack and they're sort of wriggle about on the rack as all three of them start moving this direction. And we will quit on that one. We will pick up from there as we begin in 2 weeks.
Nice.
Okay, cool. Started off with a nice combat.
Okay, well, there we are. And I'm going to spend a little bit of time now and fix all our tokens so everything starts right next time.
So, James,